website, X. He said that as his scheduled time as a special government employee comes to an end, he'd like to thank President Donald Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. Musk's departure comes one day after he criticized the centerpiece of Trump's legislative agenda, saying he was disappointed by what the president calls his big, beautiful bill. I'm Haya Panchwani.
In a revised estimate, the government says the U.S. economy, as measured by the gross domestic product, shrank 0.2% in the first quarter. The Transportation Secretary warns that technical and staffing issues at a major New York area airport could surface elsewhere.
The radar outages that disrupted flights at Newark Airport last month, which were captured in this live ATC.net air traffic controller transmission,
our scope shift went black again.
Could repeat at other airports, says Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, who is trying to sell Congress on his plan to overhaul the nation's air traffic control system that comes with a price tag in the billions.
We are going to, in essence, gut the air traffic control system and build it brand new, everything.
Duffy also says Newark has a new fiber line and they are training more air traffic controllers, so the number of flights leaving can be bumped up from 28 an hour. I'm Julie Walker.
The U.S. Court of International Trade has ruled against President Trump's tariffs. The White House appealing the court's finding that Mr. Trump overstepped his authority, the White House suggesting that the court overstepped its bounds. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, stock futures are higher. Dow futures up 71 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 266. More on these stories, townhall.com.
You heard the news. Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange and listed on the big board. Millions of Americans like you are joining our news revolution. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top 12 news brands in America. Even President Trump says it's terrific. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax, and its audience grew 50% since the same time last year. Millions really are making the switch to Newsmax. If you want to be a Newsmax share owner, call your advisor or get more info at newsmaxinvest.com. Stand with Newsmax today for a strong America. This communication is for informational purposes only and shall not be intended to or shall not constitute any offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation, or sale would be unlawful.
The American flag has been hoisted outside the long-closed ambassador's residence in Damascus, a sign of growing ties between Washington and the new Syrian government.
Syrian state-run news agency Sana says U.S. Ambassador to Turkey Tom Barak has arrived to inaugurate the residence in Damascus. He has also been appointed special envoy to Syria. Washington hasn't formally reopened its embassy in the capital city, which closed in 2012 after protests against the government of then-President Bashar Assad. Assad was unseated in December in a lightning rebel offensive. But Barak's visit and the raising of the flag are significant signals of warming relations. I'm Charles Tillett.
Pope Leo is visiting the Papal Summer Palace south of Rome. His visit fueling speculation as to whether he'll use it himself to escape Rome's heat or will keep the hilltop estate as a museum and environmental center. News and analysis, townhall.com. Trump administration canceling some flu vaccine research.
Moderna says it was notified Wednesday that Health and Human Services had withdrawn funds to pay for development and purchase of such an investigational vaccine that would include H5N1 bird flu. It would be an mRNA vaccine using the same technology that allowed its development of vaccines to fight COVID-19. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has expressed deep skepticism regarding mRNA vaccines. Moderna had just announced positive interim results from an early-stage trial of the vaccine that targeted H5 bird flu virus. I'm Donna Warder.
Harvard University holding its commencement today. It comes as the nation's oldest, wealthiest school sues the Trump administration over the president's decision to cut federal funding to the university, which has $53 billion in the bank in the form of an endowment. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday.
Yes. Welcome to it.
Or should I say Thursday?
Thursday? Your Tuesday? Although kind of your Wednesday.
Yeah. Although now I'm like, is it Friday yet?
Right? Oh, now you're getting the itch. Are you? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I haven't had this much time on in so long. I need a break.
Yeah. It's just my internal clock is just all kinds of this.
No, I get you.
But happy Thursday. It
Yes.
is Thursday. I double checked. So hope all of you are having a wonderful day thus far. Getting into kind of the first full week of summer for the kids and all that.
Yep.
So everyone's kind of still testing the waters and like, what's my summer routine? I gotta get one, you know.
Figure that out.
Yeah.
Test the waters a bit. Yep. The kids mostly enjoying their summer. Mostly just kind of enjoying the do nothingness of it all.
Do they are they more willing to wake up like when you need them to now?
No, because when I need them to wake up is the same time I needed them to wake up during the school year because I have to drop them off at mom and grandma's house before I come to work.
Yeah, but they know they're not going to school or not today.
That is true. They do tend to wake up in a little bit better mood just because they're like, oh yeah, I got nothing today.
Right, I'm going to wake up and go back to sleep when I get back to grandma's house.
Yep. And actually, I made the comment today that both of them, when I take them, while I'm taking them over, they'll just like throw a blanket over their heads. So it's like, I'm just taking two ghosts to grandma's house.
That's right. Maybe they should. You know how we have like the carriers for our pets?
Yeah. Oh no, I looked into it. It's unethical.
Just saying, that time of day, like, just load them in it, and we could transfer the bed in and just move them.
Do you remember the movie Stay Tuned?
Mm-hmm.
One of the commercials was for the silencer of the lambs, because if you're going on like long vacations or long trips and the kids are going nuts in the back seat, they just put that mask, the mask on. It just shows the back seat. The kid's full of these like Hannibal Lecter looking masks. It's great. He's a great American.
I'm just saying they could repurpose that now and make them like Marvel masks or something.
Yeah.
The kids would like it then.
Just like Superman's chin, like mouth and chin, but with like the that undeserved chin and butthole.
Yeah, that or maybe the Iron Man thing or something. I don't know. You figure it out.
Right.
Spider-Man. That'd be a whole head on.
Just the whole thing. Yeah. I like it.
I think it'd work, but that's wasn't it also like around when that Stay Tuned movie came out? Also that time where some people were putting kids on leashes. If I remember, like when you went to like theme parks and they literally had those retractable leashes.
Wasn't that the time?
But then that kind of
that's when it maybe started.
Like when people thought, "Hey, this is a good idea."
It's definitely still going on.
Yeah, well, I know people have a thing about that. Like, I'm going to say people that have kids that run around, they're like, these are a godsend. But people that don't or don't, they look at it as that's not your dog.
Well,
like, I just don't want to lose the kid either.
Putting my kid on a leash would be counterintuitive, a hunter specifically, just because. Have you ever tried to like walk a Chihuahua? How they like wrap themselves around your feet and make it to where they're trying to kill you, but they can't. They won't say they are. But that's what they're trying to do. That's what my son would do. He would just like do laps around me. So I would like have my feet tied and then just.
Yeah, you have to get that. Remember, like the yo ball from the yo-yo. You have to.
Yeah, it's got to have the retraction.
That feature on it.
Right. Just a quick snap of the wrist.
And he zips right in like the yo ball.
No, I'm fine with a kid leash, but I'm saying, shouldn't we have gone with a harness? I feel like the collar's a little unethical.
Attach it to the shoulders, proper way.
It is hilarious, though. Some of my friends who weren't really dog people have become dog owners, kind of like by default. And they have these harnesses, but the harness has a handle on top. So it's really fun to just like grab the handle and just like, you can carry the dog around like a suitcase. Right. It makes it super easy to get through an airport.
You should just walk around. Oh, that's not my luggage.
That's not my suitcase. That's a Doberman.
Put Samsonite down. Speaking of which, all jokes aside, I don't know what's going on, but people need to remember, because I just saw another one yesterday. Don't leave your kids in the car.
I mean,
there was another one yesterday of a guy.
Was there?
Yeah, a guy left his 6-month-old, and for like 2 hours, and I think he went in like shopping or something, and yeah, it's ridiculously stupid.
There's like, and I know that it can happen to anybody, but there's people who say like, oh, I'll put my purse or my phone in the back seat, so when I reach for that, I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a child. I mean, yeah, you've got a child. I feel like that should take like precedence.
The one I like is they say even a shoe. Put a shoe back there.
Right. Oh, I couldn't possibly leave the car without my shoe. Oh, my baby.
Why is my foot hot?
I don't know. Why is my foot hot? This ground is a lot hotter than it was when I got in this car. Oh, my kid.
But yeah, I'm like, really? This is I know we say it all the time on the radio about don't leave the kids, don't leave the dogs, but it's like at what point do we? It's like you also don't tell people. I mean, you still tell people not to be on your phones in the tub either.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't, but I'm gonna. That being said, I haven't taken a bath in like a few years. I shower. Okay, I'm not saying I don't bathe. I haven't taken a bath in a couple of years.
I haven't bathed
in quite some time.
Since
at least
the 70s.
But no, I just don't I don't have a bath, so I shower.
Well, some people.
And granted, I wouldn't be on my phone in the shower. I have done that, pulled that trick where you put it in the Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
But then it's just weird because then it gets like the droplets on the bag are haptic and they like will mess with the phone screen.
Yeah. Well, someone several years ago I want to say down Lovington area, lost their life because they were, but I think they had the charger hooked up too.
I was going to say it has to have some kind of because I
think it was the charger plugged in and they're literally in the bathtub and it fell or something.
I made a mistake, and this was like several years and like 5 phones ago, but we were in Albuquerque at the Howard Johnson's, and they have an indoor pool, and Rhiannon was really young, so I jumped in the pool and I was playing with her. About 20 minutes in, snaps in my head. My phone's in my pocket.
Yeah,
it was a loss. Like none of the rice helped. I put the whole bowl of rice. None of it helped.
I don't think rice actually helps.
It does.
Does it?
I've seen
I've
it.
never actually seen it work.
I've seen it bring devices back to life. Like it's a miracle of not only the culinary world but also the technology world.
Does it have to be white rice, or can it be any kind of rice?
Yeah. I think it's any kind, but
any
it's just
long
the dry rice specifically because it just absorbs any moisture that it can find.
I went to the Chinese restaurant, got some sticky rice. It didn't work.
Yeah, I left my phone in this coconut rice. I have no idea why it didn't work.
But the moral of the story: don't leave your kids or your pets in the car. Don't be blow drying your hair or using wired electronics in the tub. And
don't leave your kids in the tub.
Oh, yes.
With electronics. That's ultimately our point.
Yeah, altogether.
Yeah, all encompassing. But it seems, I say, my dad used to say this all the time to me. He's like, it's common sense, boy. It seems like common sense is one of the most uncommon things out there.
Yes. Yes. The older I get, the more I realize that.
Mm-hmm.
I just, and And now we live in a world that you can't call it out without you're the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I'm the one that's got to tell everyone not to leave their kids in the car. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, what a jerk.
Not for nothing, but Junior, speak up.
Yeah.
You know, stop being so quiet in the back. I'm glad you're well behaved, but stop being so quiet back there. Remind your dad you're back there.
Yeah.
Hey.
And you wonder how many are just, you know, I don't know, high and forget.
Yeah, maybe.
Things like that. I feel like a lot of these situations are, especially when you know, when you see the videos of them confronting the parents, like, you know, you left your kid until, oh, what? I was, you know, the stories they give, and it's like, okay.
Now, I understand when you live in like a multi-parent, like a household, like if you're in a marriage or a relationship, you maybe think, well, the other person took care of it. Just check.
Yeah.
Take a look back there.
Yeah.
You can literally, my mirror, there's two settings. I can look out my back windshield, or I can flip it up with the little tab underneath it, flip it up, and it'll go down to where the kids are, to the kids level. Or Hunter's level, because Rhiannon is in the front seat now, but still.
Back into your driveway. That way it towards you to turn around to look. And you say, oh, yeah, there's a kid back.
Yeah, or, you know, use your camera.
I know.
It does. If you're like looking at somebody doing it, it does look very irresponsible because you put your car in reverse and then you just stare at your center console.
Well, I'm still one that always.
Oh, no, I check every time.
Yeah, I have a backup camera now, and I still.
It doesn't cover everything.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
It does not,
No.
despite what people think. People get too reliant on those cameras sometimes. Makes me like, be careful now. But then again, I didn't grow up in the age of drones and driving them and all that either.
Right.
So they're used to screens. Let me give you the rundown because we got to get an interview going.
Yeah, we'll let them try to figure out how to get somewhere using a paper map.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
That's right. I got a stick shift and a Ram McNally, and you ain't stopping me.
Old school for the win. A compass that's only right some of the time.
That's right. And a Cracker Jack compass. Let's do this. All right, let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay our interview we had with the folks from American Legion Post 61. They joined us talking about their flag retirement ceremony on Saturday, so we're going to play that for you here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to talk school lunches here for the summer. Becky Joyce with Healthy Kids Chaves County will join us. Also, Kim Meeks, Food Services Director for the Roswell Independent School District, and Shelley Montgomery, Food Services Director for Dexter Schools. And we're going to talk about the summer program and the meals and where to get them and how to get them and all that good stuff. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Mark Salas will join us with Roswell Night Skies. Friday night starts the movies in the park and out at the Rusty K soccer complex. And they start with Shrek the OG Shrek.
It's, is it Rusty K? Or is it, no. Rusty K is the one on Grand Avenue, not DeBrimmond.
Rusty K.
Yeah, which is the one on Grand Avenue, not the soccer complex here in downtown.
1500 North Grand. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Just so we don't get confused.
Yes. But anyway, we'll talk movies with Mark in the 9 o'clock hour.
Yes.
And then, of course, we'll have all of your features that include the newses of the local, national variety, Wall Street business updates, and so forth and so on.
Indeed.
Before we do that, though, here's your weather, which, again, chances of rain, chance it could be severe, chance nothing happens. Here's your New Mexico weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A few clouds and some scattered showers and thunderstorms hanging around today. We have low pressure over the area. Upper 80s on the high. A few more showers and thunderstorms overnight. And a few of those storms could have damaging wind and maybe some heavy rainfall. Our overnight low in the low 60s. Still a few showers hanging around on Friday. We'll be in the mid 80s. Slight chance of afternoon showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 67 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 68%. Winds currently out of the east at 5 miles per hour. We are looking at a 30% chance for afternoon showers and thunderstorms after 3 today. They're talking. Some storms could be severe, mostly sunny. Otherwise, with a high of 86 today, northeast winds at around 10 miles per hour. Tonight, chance of rains at 20%, mainly before 9 p.m. Again, they say some storms could be severe if we get some. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 61 degrees. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance for rain for Friday afternoon. Mostly cloudy and 81 otherwise. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance of rain tomorrow night, mainly before midnight. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 64 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Then for the weekend, 30% chance at afternoon showers on Saturday. Partly cloudy, highs near 90. We are looking at a 20% chance on Sunday for the afternoon. Mostly sunny, 95 for a high there. All right, 7:20. We're going to take a 2.5-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview we had with the folks from American Legion Post 61. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
Attention Roswell Coyote fans. When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line. When victory alone isn't enough, raise your bar, keep dreaming, and go beyond the limits that you thought possible. The new 2024 Honda Ridgeline Passport and Pilot, part of the Roswell Honda Rugged Trail Sport lineup. Roswell Honda, proud supporter of all Roswell High School sports.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with the roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone. Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer our phone. Need a free roof inspection? Just call us at 575-755-ROOF, and we'll answer with a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with us and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF, and we will answer the phone. No answering machine, no voicemails, and no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, we're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employees. Anyone and everyone who comes in contact with our company. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and to answer the phone. Our number again is 575-755-ROOF, or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
For the first time ever, Gus Macker is coming to Port Tallis, June 21st and 22nd at the ENMU Steve Loy Family Foundation Stadium. This 3-on-3 basketball tournament is open to all skill levels, from 8 and under to an over 35 division, plus a top men's division for more experienced players over the age of 18. Register your team at Macker.com for just $160 per team of up to 4 players. Deadline to sign up is May 30th. More info, contact Jody Diaz at 575-356-8541. Gus Macker, Port Tallis, June 21st and 22nd at the ENMU Steve Loy Family Foundation Stadium.
Paid for in part by the City of Port Tallis Lodgers Tax.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us. And good morning. It is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from our American Legion Post 61 family, of course, Commander Lee, and of course, Auxiliary President Jen back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hola. How's life in y'all's world this morning?
Good. It was crazy yesterday, but doing good.
Yeah, of course. Well, Memorial Day weekend, busy weekend for
yes.
you know,
American Legion
veterans and everybody across the board here. American Legion, of course, Memory Lawn on Monday and Saturday.
Yeah, we had a great Memory Lawn Memorial Day.
Yeah, ceremony.
We had a really nice turnout.
Charles Isla Sr. Was our keynote speaker.
He's a junior, huh?
Yeah,
he was a junior.
I didn't know senior gave the talk, and boy, it was good talk.
Yeah.
I'm assuming a veteran. His dad's a veteran.
Very much so. Vietnam era.
How was the turnout for flag on Saturday when everyone that put flags out and all that stuff?
We had a good turnout.
We had Boy Scouts and everybody
Saturday.
came out.
Yeah,
nice.
Cool. And we had a good turnout for Memorial Day.
Good.
About twice as much as usual.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I know, and I appreciate, because there was a lot going on. You know, there was ceremonies at both cemeteries, and you kind of had to book it to try to go to both and all that. But
yeah, we kind of call it the mom and pop one. So
yeah, it was
just a little less polished, but a lot of people prefer it that way. And
well, it's all from the heart, and
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
important.
that's what the day's about.
And I made sure to get some pictures. I'll be posting those on the Facebook pages for both the cemetery and the post.
Yeah. And by the way, if you're out there and thinking, man, they could use some work out here, yes, we could.
Yes,
if
we
you'd like
could.
to help out, be a part of that. We definitely the more the merrier. We need bucks and bodies and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Roswell Veteran Honor Guard, they're up to almost full strength now. So
That's great.
We didn't realize they had enough people. We could have requested an honor guard for
next year.
All right.
Lawn.
Well, hope they keep going strong, and we'll
Yeah. And what's
plug 'em in
nice is
for
they
next
got
year.
some younger folk in there too, so
Okay.
they can help out.
Well, I'm
we,
sure they're
we
very
ran
blessed for
into
that.
everybody at IHOP.
Yeah,
Everybody
Memorial
and their
Day.
grandmother decided that IHOP was the place
Yeah,
to be
after
on
the ceremonies,
Saturday.
everybody met at IHOP.
Ain't nothing more red, white, and blue than Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. Right?
That's true. Very true.
Speaking of which,
They have
this
good crepes, by the way. Don't sleep on the crepes.
this Saturday, 9 to noon.
Yes.
We are having our flag retirement ceremony at
Flag Days.
our post.
Flag
Well,
Day's in the month of June. Now there won't be
Right.
on Flag Day. That's later in the month. But
well,
we do it
neither
around
Don
that
or
time.
I are going to be in town for June 14th, so we decided to do it May 31st. That's going to be at 605 East 2nd. We've been cleaning up that property.
Yeah.
we're-
Future home of our
Yeah.
Yep.
We're waiting on the architect to finish drawings, and once they get the drawings, then we get the funding piece, and then up it goes. But we've been waiting on it. Well, the floods really set us back because they're all re-architecting everything in town, so
Yeah, we
got pushed way
back burner.
down on the list.
Yeah, we're on the back burner.
Yeah. So we understand that homes and things come first, but it would be nice to get our post home here
Absolutely.
soon.
But that'll be our future home, and we'll be there. And so from what I understand, we'll have a flag retirement ceremony, but there'll be a little picnic cookout kind of.
Yeah, I hear that while the undersheriff is going to be out of town, the sheriff will come and cook for us.
Oh, okay.
That's what I hear.
Busting
anyway.
out his grill and doing some.
I haven't
dogs
heard
or
from
something.
Mike yet, but
All right.
we'll have a contingency plan.
If
that's the
nothing
case.
else, yeah, we'll do some hamburgers and hot dogs. And
Sounds like a wiener here.
In a way, yeah.
Yep.
Pun intended.
Yep.
But if you've never seen a flag retirement ceremony, I invite you to come see the way, the proper way to do a flag retirement ceremony. We do it there, and we would love to have people. If you have retired flags,
Yeah,
flags
please
that need
let us know.
retiring,
We'll pick them up.
We'll
Yeah.
bring them up or bring them with you.
Yeah.
And we'll take care
I've
of them
noticed
that
a
day.
few around town up on people's poles that
Yeah.
the winds have taken their toll.
Well, we'll say we have the weather that is very good at destroying flags.
Oh, yes.
So.
Yeah, our POWMIA flag has seen a better day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and,
Yeah.
and that's something that for folks that don't realize that thing is not cheap, and we have to replace it like twice a year.
At least.
At
yeah.
least, and that's probably being very conservative.
That's
We probably
being
should do that-
frugal.
Yeah, do it twice as much. And it's
Yeah,
what,
they're about $900.
about $1,000 a pop is what I was thinking.
For the big U.S. flag, yeah.
And so these aren't just the ones you can roll up to your hardware store.
Oh,
and
that would be
pick up
nice.
and-
Although it would look funny way up there on that pole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are 18 by 25.
Same with
Something
that
like that,
POWMIA. It gets just as much abuse and wear and tear on that
Yeah.
one. And
One of our members attempted to repair it, but the wind
Didn't work out.
seems to have won.
Mother Nature wins again.
Yes, she does.
And so again, if you'd like to help contribute donations, if you want to donate finances towards Memory Lawn, we can do it right through our American Legion Post 61 family. If you go to roswelllegion.org, you'll find a donate now button, and you can earmark directly for. Now, if you don't earmark, we'll put it in the general fund and whatever Legion stuff we deem it.
Yeah,
need,
whatever
we'll-
project we're working on at the time.
Or if you want to donate to the cemetery directly, memorylawnroswell.org, there's a donate button there
Okay,
too.
direct link on that
So-
one too.
Yeah.
Okay, and there you can go there. So, and I would also been kind of mentioning this too is if you have family out there, check in on it. I was talking since our post has gotten in the funeral or the cemetery business here, we've learned a lot, and a lot
Yes,
that
we have.
is like legalities on what we can and cannot do. When it
Yeah.
comes to those headstones and stuff, there's really
Our hands are tied.
not a lot you can
'cause
do. The
'cause
onus
each-
is on you guys,
Yeah,
the
because
family.
each plot is owned, like you were saying, by the family. So the headstone, we can't touch it. It's not ours.
Think of it like a collection of embassies.
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually.
So,
and you guys are kind of the street sweepers in between a little
Yeah.
bit.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
And so if you're wanting to, it's been a minute since you've been out and visited family, if you're not, you might want to come because there's work that those graves that we can't do it. We're not legally allowed to.
Well, I need to remind everybody we don't have endowed care, but we do the best we can.
Sure.
We try to do the mowing. We try to do the
absolutely
keep it clean and stuff. The sheriff's department has threatened to come out and paint the curbs. So I asked
it's a community cemetery.
I'm looking for somebody to do a quick grade through there because the road needs to be graded again, especially after all the weather.
Sure.
So.
And that's the other thing is we want to, our ultimate goal is to get that irrigation system in there so we can regularly
$250,000 later,
and actually have grass out there, like a cemetery should, and make
Right.
it. But to have the plants, you got to have the water. So we got to get we have the rights and everything. Just the cost to build said system is a lot of money.
Yeah, and in the meantime, we need help people dragging lines. So get the water going out there.
And. Never mind. I was gonna make a joke about people dying to get in, but
Yeah, cemetery humor doesn't go over well.
But
you're beating a dead horse.
But but seriously, folks, if families, you can get involved, and then we every time there's cleanups, we announce them here, and we'd love to get more volunteers out there, and the more we can get, the more volunteers, the more donations, the more things, the more work we can do, and believe it or not, there's bigger goals out there, or the Gold Star Memorial's one of our in-game kind of things to have out there.
We'd actually really like to put some columbariums out there as well.
We have a good quote, a solid quote on a columbarium. So we're looking at $25,000 for that. That's installed, but and then we can sell the niches.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of them.
Because we know that in-ground burials can be a little pricey for some folks, so
Absolutely.
a niche might be more achievable.
Right. Absolutely. And some people don't want to be buried. You
Right.
know what I mean?
That's true.
Well, in most cases, the niches will cost about 50% of what the below ground is in general in that area.
Absolutely.
And then with all the money we sell on the columbarium, might be able to fund the water program.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah. And plus, there's columbariums, you put them out there, that also adds a certain allure to the cemetery. It gives it a more cemetery feel. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Something that makes it fit.
The other thing we need to put out there is a storage container. So
we desperately need storage.
We need that, but the cheapest one we found so far is about $5,000. We're going to get a lawnmower donated to us, one of those heavy-duty commercial ones.
Mm-hmm.
But it needs $2,000 worth of work to it, and then storage.
And then storage at the shed out there.
So that is our fundraising project for right now.
We don't have any Amish like they do back home, man. You go to Pennsylvania, you get them Amish. Man.
Raise the barn.
Raise the
barn.
Yep, that would be cool.
Around here. That shed will outlive all of us.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now I know.
Yeah, it would.
So it's not like we're not out there every day trying to figure out how to make it better, but we're running into the limitation of money.
Absolutely.
Money.
All
the time.
I would, if you really want to talk more about it, come out Saturday to our flag retirement.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be hanging out.
Have some hot dogs, hamburgers.
And if you're interested,
retire some flags.
Interested in being a Legionnaire, part of our Legion family, as an auxiliary member or a son or a Legionnaire or I don't know, maybe even a rider. That's something
that would be cool. We're trying to get a riders chapter started.
Going. So any riders out there, veteran riders, motorcycle riders, I better put the ride
So our sextons is letting us know that the flood had covered a lot of the headstones. Now we may not have got flooded out there, and actually the grave damage was pretty minimal considering.
What could
but a lot of the mud, went up over the headstones. So there's a lot of headstones that were obscured, like a little bit of a postage stamp versus, the whole thing.
And not all these headstones are really what you call headstones. They're more flat with the ground.
Most of them are, yeah.
So they
but we
full of dirt.
We do have some volunteers out there, and one of our new sergeant at arms was out there with a whisk broom, cleaning off a couple of them. we do our best. We can't raise the stones, we can't move the stones, but we can dig out around them, and sometimes we can do a little backfilling, but literally we can't legally touch the stone.
Right.
So we feel sorry for what's happened out there, but there's not a hell of a lot we can do about it. Mother Nature is a little unrelenting at times.
Yes.
Well, we live in the desert.
It's her property. We're just custodians of it.
Harsh climate, and without meticulous maintenance, and to be honest, it's been overgrown, pulled back, overgrown, pulled back. I mean,
I know.
You know what I mean? It's been so many years of it starting and not starting, and so you're not only dealing with current conditions, but things that were long overdue.
Well, we've
50 years
received
ago.
a lot of compliments of late that it's looking a lot better, but obviously there's a big, huge room for improvement.
It's a lot of work, and it's one bite at a time is what it is, and that's all we're trying to do. And the more people we have involved, the more bites we can take.
Well, we remind people that it's a labor of love, and it's all volunteer.
Yeah,
we don't pay anybody to go out there, so the workforce is very variable. I realize Eastless has been bringing out the community service crew.
Nice. Well,
but
definitely need some community service out
and
there.
I'm guessing, having just passed Memorial Day, we'll have a few more folks out there willing to help us out.
Absolutely.
You bad on
Partied a little too hard.
You bad on Saturdays, we'll see you on Mondays. Huh?
Right?
Well, as Eastless reminded everybody, the judge comes back Tuesday. So
yeah, it was pretty fun.
Long weekend in jail. So.
Hey, I love that. That's the sweat equity I can get behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just looking out for everybody. So.
Well, and who knows? Maybe it. And that's what I'm hoping is people go out there and work, and then they see the history, see what That's. I mean, we're talking about cleanup and work, but if you really want to take a peeling in the layer of Roswell history, hang out in a cemetery and see.
There's a lot of information there.
I mean, there's people that have been buried, from what Spanish America. I mean, it goes back to some.
Yeah, down at South Park they do have some.
Yeah,
really
but
old
I even think
ones.
on ours
it goes back to the
1800s in some cases.
Yeah, when they were born. Yeah.
The cemetery came into fruition, I think, in 1954. So,
okay, so it's not.
But we've got people that were born in 1850 out there. So
folks that were World War One.
World War One or earlier.
Yeah, or exactly. That's the cool part is, some of these folks are, shoot, there might be a few people that ran up San Juan Hill with Teddy Roosevelt in there.
Yeah. And if say you're interested, because I'm sure your kids are going to be fairly bored this summer, take some of them out to the cemetery and just pick a few names and look them up and do a little research and find out about our community members that
Absolutely.
were
I know if you go down to
past.
South Park there and you wonder why like the street names are, and you'll find the origins of them in the cemetery. You look at some of the names of our streets or some of the buildings and stuff around here. And
That's actually what I did when I was out at South Park a couple years ago for Memorial Day. I'm like, okay, why all the Lees and all of the different names? That's because they're here.
Yes, this is the families that that were the pioneers of this community and everything else.
Well, it's like the VA hospital. I just learned that Raymond G. Murphy, or they called him Jerry, I guess, he was a second lieutenant, second Louis.
Oh, cool.
Butterbar.
Yeah.
Butterbar.
Nice.
He got a lot of flack.
I'm sure he did.
As most butter bars do.
Yeah.
Yeah, margarine bars.
That's right.
Margarine bars.
But always, like we said, we're always looking for other members and stuff. So come out for our flag retirement ceremony this Saturday. Like I said, it begins at 9:00. It is on East 2nd, right across from the Farmers on East 2nd. That's you can put the address in and all that, but it's the buildings that they look a little empty right now because they are.
They're a work in progress.
Right across the Farmers Country Market on East 2nd. There, we're going to be there beginning at 9 to about noon. Like I said, we're tentatively the sheriff's supposed to be there filling up.
Should have the fire department there.
Fire department there to keep us from burning the town
Yep,
down.
I already got an agreement from the fire
cool
department.
They like to get
come out.
involved too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then of course, as part of the ceremony, how it's done is basically the flags are broken down and burned stripe by stripe. The stars we cut out and separate, and oftentimes those are offered out as mementos, keepsakes, if someone would like to honor a loved one in some way, shape, or form, whether a veteran, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Each one's personal to everybody in their own way. We generally offer those up. The ones that aren't collected, they go into the fire with
Yes.
with the rest of the flag. So if you bring a flag and maybe
Please
this was
do.
so pleased and would like a memento, that's part of the deal.
Or if you have one that needs retired and you can't make it out, give us a call, 575-268-0220, and we can come get it from
We'll
you.
come make sure it gets off your hands, and we'll take care of it the proper
Yep.
way. And this is, and I'm sure, especially with, if you're still dealing with flooding, maybe have some flags that were kind of beat up from the floods and stuff, and you haven't disposed of them already, then we would be happy to take care of that. Do it the right way for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our slow time. I'm going on vacation myself, but when we get back, we'll be at state convention. It's going to be in Albuquerque this year.
No.
Yeah.
So
if you're wondering how the American Legion works at a state level, come check it out.
Yeah, it was in Roswell.
Last
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last year. Oh, it was,
It
only
was
just a
supposed
year
to be
ago.
in Alamogordo this year, but the Intermountain gods backed out on the deal, and so department had to take over.
Yep.
So Albuquerque it is.
Yes, indeed.
But again, come out this Saturday for our and like I said, bring the family if you've never seen a flag retirement ceremony and want to know a little bit of the history behind it or understand.
And we'll have food. We'll feed you.
We'll have the grub on.
Yeah.
And of course, like I said, if you want to learn more about if you're basically if you're a veteran that served honorably basically since Pearl Harbor, then you're eligible to be an American Legionnaire. As an auxiliary member, you're a spouse of a veteran.
Or any female associates. So you got sisters and mothers and grandmothers and daughters and all of those.
The spouses can be males. So
Yes, they can.
If the wife
I have
is the veteran and
we
your
have a couple.
husband cannot be an auxiliary, we have a couple in the post already.
Mhm.
And then we have our sons, which are male descendants of a veteran.
Yes.
So if your mom or dad was a veteran, then you qualify as a son.
Yeah, the only one that they haven't figured out how to include are the brothers of veterans, which is frustrating to me, but I'm sure we'll figure it out at some point.
Yeah.
Or the spouses of sons.
Yeah, spouses of sons of veterans.
I would think of all the branches, unless they create a new one, they would have to fold them into auxiliary.
I would think so.
Yeah, that would make the most sense to me.
Unless
we have a brothers of the American Revolution or whatever you want to call that, siblings of the American
there you go.
siblings of the American Legion, whatever it is you want to call it.
Yeah, I don't know why they exclude.
I don't know. I think it just kind of, whoops, we didn't think of that.
Yeah.
So.
I guess maybe they just figured,
Well, back when it was created right after World War I, there were a lot of people that had fathers that were in this military, so it didn't.
And if there was a draft, odds are your brother was a veteran too.
Right, exactly.
So kind of fell in
Well,
a different
the
category.
idea originally was you had to have served during a time of war, and then we had these donut holes. Where if you didn't serve between this date and this date, you're eligible.
The
that
term
sort of
war
thing.
got muddy, and we started using conflict. No, it's not technically a war, but
And
felt like
then
one.
under the first Trump administration, he passed the Legion Act, which closed all our donut holes. So basically, December 7, 1941 on, or World War I, but there's no more World War I veterans anymore, but you could be the son or grandson or grand-grandson of a World War I veteran and still be eligible. They just don't advertise it as such. But, we're running out of World War II. The last World War II veteran in our post died in, I want to say, March.
Sounds about right.
Billy Joe Allen was our last World War II veteran in our post.
I imagine there's probably just a couple handful throughout the state of New Mexico still.
Probably.
Well, we have very few Korean War veterans anymore. I mean, that's the next big one. And
Well,
you got to
sure.
figure Korean War was, 1950s,
50s,
so.
Yeah.
And next up is going to be Vietnam.
Vietnam, yeah, you're absolutely right.
The last day of Vietnam is 1975, April 75, so that was 50 years ago. And
cow.
even if you were only 15 years old when you went into Vietnam,
you're in your
you're going to be 65, 70 at this point.
Yeah.
Wow.
Minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah. Then we'll have a little gap at the Gulf War.
Well, my father-in-law was in Vietnam, and he just he's going to turn 81 in July.
Yeah.
So,
Well.
and that was Vietnam. Not to mention my father was Korean War era. He just died in March, and he was 88. Well, he would have been 88 at the end of next month, so he was 87.
Yeah. My grandfather was World War II, but I lost him 20 years ago.
Yeah. Same with mine.
Yeah.
He was World War II. He went in when he was 17. He went to his parents and said, "I want to be on a ship because they feed me and I have clean, safe place to sleep." So they signed the papers.
in the next 5 years or so, we won't have any more World War II.
And my dad was
they'll have aged out.
Just post Vietnam. I mean, like
a few months.
Yeah.
Oh boy, he got lucky.
Yeah, he was just, and of course he passed away, but he died in his 60s.
Okay.
Cancer. So
Yeah.
but I mean, he was post Vietnam. I mean, barely. I mean, like literally, he was like kind of sweating the draft, and then
Yeah, my dad was kind of wondering if they were going to take him too.
Late
But
70s there, yeah.
I felt lucky. I was in a post up in Colorado. We had 2 Indy survivors in our post.
Yeah.
Not for very long, mind you, but 2 of them, which I thought was interesting. One of them who wrote the book on the Indianapolis. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. Kind of like the 4 chaplains was an interesting story as well.
Yeah.
Back in February.
Which we'll be doing that again here in February time frame of next year. But again, if you're interested in learning more, come out Saturday. That's the best thing to say is come out Saturday. Come join us for some hot dogs and come be a part of our flag retirement ceremony and learn about our Legion Post. And if you'd love to be a part of it, or auxiliary or a son, where we serve, we're just like every other Legion Post in the country, but in essence, we also operate as one big unit. Yes, we have our own separate Legion, our own separate identity as an auxiliary and sons, but mostly because of meeting space and things like now, we work as one entity and we meet.
It's a team effort to do everything we do.
And everything we do is one. So yes, if it's a Legionnaire activity, all the branches are involved, or if it's an auxiliary activity, all the branches are involved.
Right.
And same with the Sun. So, but very much like that. That will be our new facility there on East 2nd. When it is completed, it will not have a bar. It will have a meeting space. It will have
a small kitchen.
A small kitchen to host, small dinners and things like that. It will have. Our plan is to put it into the more modern era of a Legion Post.
Yes,
now.
We're hoping to do some gaming and different, and not the pull a slot machine, the other kind of gaming.
Yeah, and to be honest, the way Legion is going is now, because we just had this conversation. There's no more World War I vets. We're about out of World War II. The vets nowadays are Gulf War vets, people in their 30s, 40s, sometimes younger.
Tail end of Vietnam.
Yeah, tail end of Vietnam. Your 50s. This is the end. Their era of sitting at the bar to drown your problems is not
the focus anymore.
Not the focus anymore. So
this is not your grandfather's married.
And so this Legion Post will reflect that. That's our thing. It'll be a community, and ideally, we want it to be a community space for that part of the neighborhood too. So
right.
When there's community events there, and they have events they'd like to promote, we'd like to be that place for them to do that.
Yeah, and anybody coming in from Texas will see us.
There you go. On your way in from Lubbock.
Right, exactly. Welcome to Roswell.
And then maybe we get that half track brought over at some point.
Oh, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool.
Well, I understand they're having a fire sale over there.
Yeah, I saw it online. I don't think it's the price that's the problem. It's how do you get it from there to there.
Well, if I only got to pull it a block, I think we can handle it.
Yeah. Just cross the street.
Can we get like all the high school weight programs and just kind of do
everybody
there you go.
Walk in this direction.
Get every meathead in Roswell.
Get the Roswell and Goddard high school football teams out there with
Get all the gyms to come and help out. That'd be kind of cool.
We'll do an option right.
We'll make a whole big party out of it. We'll grill up some burgers and we'll call it the tug of war-a-thon. And see if we can tug it across the street to the Legion parking
lot. Close off those 2 streets and see how long it takes us.
Yeah, see if we can do it.
Hell, we could do how many feet.
Yeah.
If you sponsor it per foot or something.
Maybe this is a Guinness record thing we're dealing with. We can get them
you never
involved.
Know.
We
Or maybe we get somebody out of Canada and bring a helicopter, maybe an MH-60 and pick it up and move it.
Yeah,
you know.
My sister would fly that.
You need something Chinook, something big to get that thing moving. That's weighty.
Yeah, it's all steel.
See if we can get an Osprey.
Although I wonder, like as soon as you lift that thing up, will it just fall like rust apart? I mean, I have no idea. It's been sitting there.
I don't know. It's bolted to the ground.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'd probably have to have somebody cut it loose with a blowtorch or
Probably.
something.
Yeah.
I don't think those bolts are coming loose.
Yeah. Was that an issue? Someone's going to steal that thing? I mean, geez, bolt that thing around.
I would imagine. I mean,
Well,
retail price on that thing's probably,
Not
$500,000
insignificant.
bucks.
But it's a stick shift. So that's going to eliminate half the population stealing right there.
I think used the thing's only worth maybe $40,000 or something.
I don't know. I have no idea.
But we don't have $40,000.
No. Well, if we did, we'd start building a building.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we're trying to do that.
Yeah. Just waiting on drawings.
Yeah. But
we're already getting started on the Veterans Day Parade. So.
yes, planning is now underway
Yes,
for that.
this year's theme is going to be women in the military.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. Like that.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get a female
I've
speaker.
talked to Carrie Moore. She's agreed to throw us some ideas.
Okay.
Or help do the poster. I'm not sure which, but
if there's any female,
she's always done some good ones in the past.
Yeah.
She's never let us down when it comes to artwork and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to speak for her. I don't know if she's actually going to do it this year, but she had promised she'd throw me some ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, which is half the battle.
Well, and so obviously we're looking for some female inspired volunteers to be a part of this.
Yep.
You know, we'd love to see some veterans. Obviously, we would love to have a female guest speaker at this, but that would make more sense, I would think.
Yeah.
You know, who've served as in their role and sharing their role in the military. What they did with we have some great guest speakers each year, and I think we can find one here. You know, we served in whatever role. I mean, you know,
and doesn't have to be an officer or fancy position.
Oh no, you could have been sitting in a tank, or you know, everything is
cooking meals as far as I'm
man in a desk.
Yeah.
You know, back at home base because
working admin.
Yeah, exactly. Because without admin, nothing gets done.
I'm just saying. Yeah, you know, the people. You never mess with the people that give you food or give you money.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I had to deal with a lot of people in CBPO over my time in the service, and although they were not allowed to ask me any questions about how much money and what I needed or why, but it was a lot of fun dealing with those people.
Always nice to the finance office people and the chow hall people. Never mean to them people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's just a rule of thumb. Just get live by here. But again, if you have any questions about everything we talked about here or want more information, scholarships as well.
Yep.
We do have.
We have four scholarships available, and I got one applicant so far. We haven't ruled on them. We'll rule on them June 4th, I want to say.
Next week.
But already, yeah. Okay.
That's it. That's all I got. So I've got $7,500 waiting for disbursement, and nobody wants it.
Yeah.
So
RoswellLegion.org. There's a tab for the button there for the scholarships. That's got all the what you have to.
It's on the left and on the right.
It's basically if you're applying for STEM-related career field or military first responder stuff.
Yeah.
If you have you have to have a veteran connection, either yourself or direct family member.
Basically, if you were eligible for any of the branches of the American Legion.
And then there's an essay you have to write, and that's pretty much.
And it's not long, guys. It's only like 500 words.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the requirements. So, RoswellLegion.org. Go there, and of course, if you want more information about Memory Lawn or about our post in general, or some
Any
of our
project we're working on.
Yeah, some of our tent pole we like to do. Our auxiliary unit. They do a lot of craft projects.
We just did a poppy table at the
Roswell Livestock.
Roswell Livestock, yeah.
And so we do that a lot for to sell things to make money, but also we do like our bears for first responders to keep in their vehicles
bears,
when they come across situations that those are very helpful. They use those in those domestic situations, things like that.
Yep.
Kids getting ready to go to foster care, give them a bear.
Or you come up on an accident and you know, crying
sometimes
kid.
you just need to distract a kid while the adults handle business here, and that's a good thing to do that.
And our scouts are now meeting on Wednesday nights.
Awesome.
Yep.
At Military Heights.
So I realize you all are taking off for the summer, and yay, I'm done. But when you come back to school and you're, looking for maybe some extracurricular activities, consider scouts.
Well, one of those kids, they're Cub Scouts, right?
Our scouts, our Cubbies are planning on doing some camping this summer.
Good deal.
So
Yeah.
they've got a couple of spots open.
Nice.
So.
Well, I imagine at some point they'll be, maybe when they're a little older, hitting Winnipeg and hitting the scout camp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we already talked about that recently.
Yeah, we got Cub Scout Pack 61, and then we have Troop 2 as well.
Nice. Yes. Yes. Again, you can go through us or Conquistador Council to learn more about sign up for those scout troops there, too. So, good deal. Did we get it all? Is there anything we missed?
I don't think we had a lot this time.
Yeah.
I mean, other than
not in
flag retirement.
Not in quantity, but certainly in quality.
Certainly.
Yes. Memorial Day was a good weekend.
Absolutely, and thank you everyone that came out and turned out to be a part of that. I know we're down the road on that, but our next big thing like this involving cemeteries will be Wreaths Across America at Christmas time. You can go to RoswellLegion.org and start reserving wreaths for that. They're $17 a piece. And what this happens is Wreaths Across America is another veterans organization run by veterans for veterans. The veterans make wreaths. They do programs. They use this money to help veterans and their families in various ways.
And education for kids.
And anything you buy through my website, I don't keep any of the money. The money goes straight to Wreaths Across America.
Yeah.
Post 61 does not benefit from this at all.
Nope. So. It all goes to the organization. And then what we get is we get a wreath, and our goal is to put a wreath on the grave of every veteran here in Roswell. We start it at
300 roughly.
Yeah,
and Memory
Lawn, and then we work our way.
Because there's probably over 3,000 down at South Park. So if we have enough wreaths to put on everybody's grave, I'll do a happy dance, I promise.
Well, we get about 200. We could use about 2,000.
Yeah, at least, yeah. Yep.
To be honest. But it's never too early. You can order. You can. I
Yeah,
think they
but
got
it's
a group
year-round.
rate too. If you get like a 5 and
something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
It's year round.
Yeah.
So
And the programs they do are year round too. It's not just in December.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, the programs.
So your donations are needed like everywhere else
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, the actual event of putting out the wreaths and stuff, that's around the holidays here. And,
Yep.
of course, the deadline's usually there in November, right around Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Usually. And then...
usually around the week after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right in that ballpark. So I know there's time on there, but if you're thinking about it and you're there and you say, oh, that's a great idea, you can go ahead and put your wreaths in now. Ain't nothing wrong with getting them in early while you're thinking about it. So
yeah.
Good deal. RoswellLegion.org website there.
That's it.
And we'll see everybody Saturday beginning at 9 a.m. Right across the from the Farmers Country Market on East 2nd. Join us there.
Bring your flags.
Bring
so we
your
can
flags.
retire them with honor.
And maybe bring some sunscreen and stuff. And
Yeah, sunscreen would be good. Chairs.
Supposed to be in the 90s this
Bring your
weekend.
Bring your jalapeno peppers. 'Cause
There
we
you
don't
go.
supply those.
That's right. We got some spicy people, but no peppers. As always, thank you guys, and we'll see you here this weekend.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, it is 9:50. Let's.
Opioid crisis and addiction. The county has been working the last year with a local nonprofit called Carlsbad Lifehouse, which received a $650,000 grant for treatment of non-fatal overdoses and counseling through multiple programs. Last week, Carlsbad Lifehouse Representative Philip Houston gave an update on the organization's progress. He says they have since developed a new overdose response program that includes nurses, emergency personnel, and counselors. A wildfire swept through portions of a Civil War-era fort and historical site in southern New Mexico, forcing the evacuations of campgrounds and a horse ranch. The camp fire damaged structures at Fort Stanton Historical Site. The site was built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s, and a gym erected by Germans interred at the site during World War II after their ship sank. The fire was reportedly 50% contained by Wednesday afternoon. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A few clouds and some scattered showers and thunderstorms hanging around today. We have low pressure over the area. Upper 80s on the high. A few more showers and thunderstorms overnight. And a few of those storms could have damaging wind and maybe some heavy rainfall. Our overnight low in the low 60s. Still a few showers hanging around on Friday. We'll be in the mid 80s. Slight chance of afternoon showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
This hour at townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The man who led President Trump's war on government waste, fraud, and abuse is moving on. Elon Musk headed the Department of Government Efficiency. Now he's going back to overseeing his business empire. Posting on X, Musk writes, the Doge mission will only strengthen over time. The president's attempt to level the playing field with America's trading partners has been dealt a legal setback.
A federal trade court has blocked the president from imposing sweeping tariffs on imports under an emergency powers law. The White House has argued that trade deficits amount to a national emergency. The ruling from a three-judge panel at the New York-based Court of International Trade came after several lawsuits argued Donald Trump has exceeded his authority. The Trump administration has filed an appeal. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Some Chinese students in the U.S. may want to start packing their bags. Secretary of State Rubio says their backgrounds will be closely scrutinized in a bid to get rid of Chinese spies. COVID-19, the gift that just keeps giving. A new variant has turned up.
Officials say it's circulating in various parts of the world and may be driving an increase in cases in the eastern Mediterranean, Southeast Asia, and Western Pacific regions. World Health Organization says the new variant, called NB181, is increasing globally. But the good news, current vaccines are expected to remain effective, and there's nothing to suggest the disease associated with the variant is any more severe. Jason Walker reporting.
Israel planning to authorize 22 Jewish settlements in the West Bank to include new settlements as well as those already built without authorization. Wall Street, the Dow is up 79 points. The Nasdaq ahead 166. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Turkey is cracking down on airline passengers who defy safety rules, things like prematurely unbuckling that seatbelt.
The Turkish Aviation Authority has issued the updated rules following passenger complaints and flight inspections, indicating a growing number of safety violations during airplane taxiing, often leading to chaotic disembarkations. Revised in-flight announcements are now warning passengers that safety violations will be reported to the Aviation Authority. The authority didn't say how much rule breakers could be fined, but Turkish media is reporting fines of up to $70 will be imposed. I'm Charles Dilladesma.
A huge mass of rock and ice from a glacier has thundered down a Swiss alpine mountainside. Authorities say it covered with mud or destroyed about 90% of a village that had been evacuated earlier this month. One person listed as missing. News and analysis, townhall.com. At 18, the life of a promising young college football player cut short in a hail of gunfire.
Baylor defensive lineman Alex Foster has died after he was found with multiple gunshot wounds in a car in his Mississippi hometown. The Washington County Coroner's Office confirmed to the AP. The Mississippi Clarion-Ledger first reported Foster as being the victim of a shooting in Greenville after Baylor announced without a cause that Foster had died. The shooting was part of a surge in violent crimes that Greenville Mayor Eric D. Simmons said threatened the community. No arrests have been made. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
Almost a year after a search was suspended for a family of 4 missing after the boat they were on capsized in waters off south central Alaska. The vessel, along with human remains, have been found. The discovery comes after several private firms offered in April to search for the family from Texas. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday.
Yes.
It is closer to the weekend.
We are. Just one day closer to the oh so long end of the week. It's been such a long, arduous week. Beating us over the brow at the length of this week.
Yes. Yeah. But I still feel tired.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of that comes from you got a taste. You got a taste of a little relaxation, maybe of getting to sleep in just a hair.
And I'm still dealing with my eye thing.
Yeah.
And I think I put more strain on it and everything, and just being all and like literally, I'm like.
Well, and like with when you look down, I actually saw it a lot worse.
Yeah.
And like with my hip, it makes your other one work harder, so thus the overcompensating and wears that one out even quicker.
There you go.
So.
Yep. It is that. So.
It's a long and hard recovery process.
The struggle's real.
That's right.
Nah, I'm just tired. But happy Thursday. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Hope got big plans for the weekend here. Now we're
it's the slowdown. Yeah. I mean, this is the weekend that there's some things going on. There's the movie Under the Stars. That's Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of things that are going on.
Camp Convention's next week.
Yes, it is. Get signed up. There is still space available, and still scholarships available as well. So get your kids signed up
and
for that.
Hunter's going to participate, isn't he? Sweet.
Yep. This is his second year, so he's very excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's going to be like a veteran now that he's got a year under his belt.
Crafty veteran, yeah. No, I think he's definitely matured in the year since, and I think it's going to be a better experience for him. As I mentioned in the interview, and I mentioned to Peggy, it really sort of like opened him up to learning. Like he was, he loved to like take in stuff before, but ever since then he's just been a sponge, especially for like space stuff.
Right.
He's fascinated.
That's
by
his nice.
Oh yeah, he loves learn about planets and how many Earths can fit into Jupiter.
Nice.
And which planets are dwarfs and or is considered a dwarf star. There's other things he's told me or he likes to speculate. He said, what do you think would happen if the Earth got sucked into a black hole? And he says if we get sucked into a black hole, that will come out the other side in the, what did he say? Oh, gosh darn it. See, now I can't think of the term he used. The unobservable universe.
Huh.
That's what he said. He said we'll come out on the other side in the unobservable universe.
My brain's already
right.
I was lost.
And that's my 6-year-old.
I was like, black hole. You mean like that 70s movie with the Disney with the black hole? That's my
I just walk away just humming Black Hole Sun. He is my black hole son. Oh my gosh. I never made that connection.
Wash away the rain. Oh man. Yeah, that's although now I'm curious like if like I think he's probably too young now, but give him a year or two, show him the movie The Right Stuff. Remember that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that movie, but it might be a little too much.
I don't. Okay, I'm not sure if I've ever even seen that one.
That's the one with
grab a mic.
Yeah, you're under 5 there. Yeah, that was the movie.
Space Camp.
Leah Thompson was in it.
Okay.
Who else was in it? There was someone else kind of famous. Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay.
And he was also one of the Cobra Kai guys, I think. I feel like he was one of the Karate Cobra Kai guys. Or no, he was just in the tournament or something.
Now
he was in the Karate Kid, I think.
With all these people in it, I'm afraid that somewhere
and it had a robot in it.
Somewhere in the middle of it, somebody girl's gonna be topless.
And then there's a guy that was kind of famous in the 80s.
Let's see. Joaquin Phoenix was in it. Sandra McGuire, Leah Thompson, Kelly Preston.
Yes, Kelly Preston. I forgot.
Larry B. Scott.
Yeah.
Is
That's a good movie.
the guy from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
Tate Donovan was in it.
Tate Donovan. That's the other one I was trying to think of. He was kind of one of those 80s heartthrobby kind of.
Tom Skerritt was in it.
Tom Skirt.
Skirt. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll have to look into it.
Oh, I don't know if that movie holds up.
1986.
I was gonna say,
well, we've learned a few things about our universe since
I
then.
bet he would like it.
Oh, I'm sure he would.
Interested in space and watching other
It
kids
was at
go
the
to
height of
camp.
it was at the height of the shuttle, like fervor when that movie came.
You know what's funny is I've learned things about my other kid this last school year, and that's that if you want her to watch pretty much any boring old movie or any movie that I wouldn't think she'd be into, make it happen in school.
Yeah.
Apparently, over the course of last year, she watched, I think Deep Impact, or it was one of those volcano movies.
Really?
And the last movie they watched, and they watched it in parts, but Outbreak.
No.
This isn't her science class. They were watching Outbreak, and she enjoyed it. She seemed to get a kick out of it.
I don't know. That movie would scare the living daylight out of me.
One would surmise, especially with my daughter.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially a thunderstorm. Now you start talking about contagion and
she
outbreak.
sees a cloud that looks like a bit of it's dropping down. She goes, tornado. She's freaked out about stuff like that. But no, Outbreak, no problem. Was it Dante's Inferno or what?
I'm trying to think what significance why they would show that.
Dante's Peak, I mean, is what I meant to say. Like a volcano movie, I think it was.
They both came out at the same time.
Okay.
There was Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones, and then I think Dante's Peak, and that had
Pierce
Bronson?
Brosnan?
Yeah, one of the
so one of those. But
they literally came out at the same time.
But yeah, and she comes home and she's like, "Yeah, we've been watching this." I'm like, "You," and she's like, "Yeah, I like it." So I think this summer I'm going to try her out on a few more interesting movies, maybe like kind of spread her wings a little bit. I think we're going to start off with 28 Days Later and see where it goes from there.
Golly.
No, I'm just kidding.
Start with Saw series. And we go into the Final Destination stuff.
I want to start her off slow. So like Human Centipede. I'm kidding, everybody. Please don't call health services.
I'm trying to think what movie would be. Like,
well, I'm thinking something that's like an adventure movie. Like it might be like an Armageddon or something like that. Something that's like, stakes are high, but the ending is happy.
She'll be singing Aerosmith by the end of the movie. to hear you breathe.
Weird craving for animal crackers all of a sudden. But yeah. So
all right. Good
it'll be a fun summer.
There you go.
Looking forward to it.
Has she seen Die Hard yet?
No, she hasn't. She'll be leaving that week and going, watch some movies with Dad, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
Right. Or go like with the Your movies.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I
Like
could go
Hot
the other route with like Hot Rod or
Yes.
MacGruber.
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, if I'm going to do that, I think I should start her off on something like a Hot Shot. Maybe not Hot Shots. That might be a little rough. Maybe like a Naked Gun.
Yeah.
And that it's not too over the top or racy, but it's got all those
There's a
comedic
couple
tropes.
scenes in there.
Has she seen Goonies?
No, I don't think she has.
You think she would
Well,
like Goonies?
I know she hasn't. She probably would for a minute. It's odd. She's at that weird stage because like literally 6 months ago she was in a Bluey, so it's like it's kind of hard to pinpoint where she's
the
at
beginning
right
of Goonies might be hard to until they get into the cave. She may not care about it
Yeah.
because there's a lot of dialogue in the beginning of the Goonies.
now. Well, maybe it has to happen inside of the bounds of a school day. So
Yeah, well, because in the beginning they're explaining how they're pouring about the house and all that. And I don't know if they,
Building up.
yeah, it's kind of slow.
Mhm.
And then, but once the old lady, the bad guy lady, throw mama from the train, whatever that actress is, when she comes on screen, then you're interested because I don't care what anybody says. That woman's frightening to a child,
or to pretty much anybody.
or to a 52-year-old man.
Has she seen Jumanji?
Actually, no. That'd be a great one to start her off on. The original, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
The Robin Williams one?
Yeah. It's I would think because
I'm trying to think if I've seen that.
well, the new one, the Kevin Hart one, I think would probably catch your interest a little more.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to think if I remember seeing the Robin Williams one, like all of it. I know
Really?
parts
Oh,
of it. I don't know if
that's-
I've
yeah,
ever sat
that's-
and watched it. Now that I
that's a
think about
great
it.
one.
Yeah.
Anne Ramsey, by the way, is the woman you're thinking of.
Very good.
Oh, you mean the woman who looks like unspeakable horror? Yeah, her. Horror.
She's a beaut.
Mm-hmm.
I think she knew this. It's the role she took.
It's an optical illusion, but there's this dude has an eye patch on, and just because of the way I'm looking at him, he looks like a Cyclops. Yeah, it's crazy.
Let me give the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. And here in just a few minutes, we'll have the folks talking about the summer lunch program. Becky Joyce with Healthy Kids Chavis County will join us. Also, we'll have Kim Meeks, head of food services for the RESD, and Shelley Montgomery, head of food services for Dexter Schools. And we'll talk about the summer lunch, breakfast and lunch programs, and where to pick up, how to do it, and all that good stuff with them here in just a bit. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and take a gander at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A few clouds and some scattered showers and thunderstorms hanging around today. We have low pressure over the area. Upper 80s on the high, a few more showers and thunderstorms overnight, and a few of those storms could have damaging wind and maybe some heavy rainfall. Our overnight low in the low 60s. Still a few showers hanging around on Friday. We'll be in the mid 80s. Slight chance of afternoon showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 71 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 59%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 9 miles per hour. We do have a 30% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 3 today. They say if we do get some, they could be severe in nature. Otherwise, mostly sunny for today with highs around 86. Winds will be out of the north at around 10 miles per hour, shifting to the south this afternoon. Tonight, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers till about 9 p.m. Again, they say some storms could be severe in nature, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 61 degrees, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, 20% chance at afternoon showers, mostly cloudy. I have 81 tomorrow with east winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% tomorrow night as well, mainly before midnight, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 64 degrees, south winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Looking at the weekend on Saturday, we're looking at a 30% chance of showers. For the afternoon, partly cloudy, highs warming up to 90 with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms for Sunday as well. Mostly sunny, 95 for a high on Sunday. And then looks like low 90s for Monday, mid 90s, mid to upper 90s for Tuesday, Wednesday of next week here. So enjoy your 80s this week because it'll get warmer for the weekend. All right, it is 8:19. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we're going to talk about the free summer breakfast and lunch program on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. I'm the third generation in this legacy that began with hard work and bold dreams. From Grandpa's footprints in the concrete to floor tiles laid in the 50s by my dad, Bill. Every detail of this building is a testament to our pride in providing quality furniture and service to you. On your quest for making your home beautiful and comfortable, come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 5,700 current Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success, that's what we're about.
Growing things in Roswell is a battle. Your lawn's trying to turn brown, your trees are wanting to turn yellow, the weeds want to take over, and the fleas and ticks are trying to move in. So come down to Roswell Seed Company and choose your weapons. We have fertilizer to make your lawn lush and lovely, iron to keep your trees nice and green, sprays to kill the weeds, and more sprays to chase away the fleas and ticks. This is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. Yeah, it's a jungle out there, except it never rains.
Rock out to Voyager, a spectacular tribute to the legendary rock band Journey, on Saturday, June 7th at 8 p.m. at the Spencer Theater. Voyager provides today's most entertaining and authentic Journey experience, with songs such as Don't Stop Believin', Separate Ways, and Any Way You Want It. Tickets start at $66. Get yours online at spencertheater.com or call the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
For the first time ever, Gus Macker is coming to Portales, June 21st and 22nd at the ENMU Steve Loy Family Foundation Stadium. This 3-on-3 basketball tournament is open to all skill levels, from 8 and under to an over 35 division, plus a top men's division for more experienced players over the age of 18. Register your team at Macker.com for just $160 per team of up to 4 players. Deadline to sign up is May 30th. More info, contact Jody Diaz at 575-356-8541. Gus Macker, Portales, June 21st and 22nd at the ENMU Steve Loy Family Foundation Stadium.
Paid for in part by the City of Portales Lodgers Tax.
Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand and La Pantera 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Saturday from 10 to 1 at Roswell Honda. The summer of fun is underway, and Roswell Honda has a great selection of vehicles marked way down to take your summer adventures to a whole new level. And with scorching rebates, incentives, and discounts, now is the best time to trade up and save. We'll be on hand from 10 to 1 with free hot dogs and ice-cold Pepsi products, too. See you Saturday, 10 to 1 for the summer of fun at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Becky Joyce back with us from Healthy Kids Chavez County. Good morning.
Good morning.
And then also we have both of the food service directors, Kim Meeks for the Roswell Independent School District and Shelley Montgomery with Dexter Schools as well. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
How's everybody's happy, bright? So it's early yet. So
it's a good day, and it's nice outside.
So weather's pretty good. We can't complain about the weather. We got a little moisture, and so next week's supposed to get hot. But right about the time we start up all the stuff we're about to talk about here.
Yep.
Of course, with you ladies here visiting, it must mean it is that time of year for the summer breakfast and lunch programs. Some changes to this year's procedures and how it's going, and I'm sure it's caused quite a kerfuffle in your world. So, but that this comes from higher up. This is state. Is it federal or state that makes the mandate on this one? I'm not even sure. It's both. Gotcha. Yeah. But I know every district in the state is doing it the exact same way, and so
they're supposed to be.
Yes, but well, and I just saw the I guess the Albuquerque news last night, and they were talking about Albuquerque schools basically talking about exactly what we're about to talk about here for Roswell here. So, but yes, the summer meal program is going on this year. A little bit different form, but and mostly in the fact that basically they have to come for the meal. The child has to be there for breakfast and then come back for lunch later when it's lunchtime.
And stay there on the grounds to eat.
Yes.
So that's a new one too.
It's like a restaurant.
Yes.
Sit down and enjoy your meal.
Yes. And I know it's tough because it's hot.
And we aren't allowed to deliver any meals.
Yeah.
To any site.
Right.
Yeah. So. It's one of these things that you're going by what rules you have to go by here, and you know, I'm sure if you guys were able, you would be doing all these things because you,
of course,
obviously you guys understand, you know, the issues it is getting food to people during the summer months here, probably better than people making the decisions, quite honestly.
It helps us out. The more, you know, kids that we're able to feed, it goes both ways. It helps us out and it helps them out. And
absolutely.
Not being able to help with vacation Bible schools and different camps and stuff like that, you know, has always been important. And so we feel just as bad about it.
Sure.
That we're not able to do that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But so I guess I'm putting this, please understand, so when you come to the meal sites, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah. We really want to feed kids.
Absolutely. You want more opportunities, not narrowing that window here. But the rules are the rules, so this is how we have to play. So how it's going to work is there's, I think, 6 different sites around this area, around the Roswell area.
7.
7, actually, that families can go, and any child 18 and under can get a meal there.
That's correct.
Breakfast and lunch there.
Breakfast is only served at Roswell High and Goddard from 7 to 8.
Okay.
All of the sites will serve lunch from 10 until 1.
Very good. And will they all offer the same meals at each one? Or
that's correct.
Very good. So you'll get, so you don't have to, they're going to be doing burgers here and something over here. It's the same at either one. So whatever one's closest or most convenient for you, pop on in during those times here. But like we said, the child must be present. The child must consume the meal on site there with them. So just please annotate time for that, to do that. And is there any other stipulations that they have to have or anything? Does it does a parent have to be there with them, or if there's
no,
hey, I brought the neighborhood. Can you?
That's fine.
Okay.
We just give a meal
Excellent.
to
Very
each
good.
child.
Excellent. Very good. That's wanted to make sure any of that kind of stuff. Now this will all start here June 2nd next week.
Correct.
That's for Roswell. Now for Dexter, what's the sites and times for?
We're going to be serving there in front of the high school, in front of the Lewis Gym.
Okay.
And we're starting on June the 9th.
Okay, so about a week later.
Yeah, about a week later, and we're going to serve lunch from 1 to 2.
Excellent. Okay, so you can come on again. Same rules apply.
Same rules.
Must eat on site. Child must be present, and for both meal, or I guess be one meal in this case, the 1 to 2, and of course, but it also works this, like if you were in Chaves County. Like, if you're a Roswell student and just happen to be in Dexter that day, you can go in there and eat, and vice versa. If you're in Dexter or Hagerman or wherever, and you're down in Roswell during that time, come on into any one of the 7 sites and get a meal. No big deal.
And if you're not a Roswell resident, say you're just passing through and you have kids, can they join?
Any kid.
Any child that is 18 and under that eats.
The only difference for Dexter is we're Monday through Thursday.
Gotcha. So the Fridays make arrangements to come down to Roswell or.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Come to Roswell.
Yeah. Just gee whiz curious. Is Eddy County, they're doing something similar in theirs? Where I'm just wondering if there's kids by like Lake Arthur area that might be closer to go to Artesia. I don't know if they're doing anything.
Artesia used to do something, but I haven't talked to them this year.
Okay, I hadn't heard either. I just didn't know if you guys.
I have not heard either.
maybe they're doing it in Carlsbad or something. That's a different story if it's down
Yeah.
there. But anyway, we will be having it at Dexter and in the 7 different locations here in Roswell. I know you can go all over Facebook, the Roswell Schools, various pages all have what in essence is this flyer that's kind of got the dates, locations, times for all the summer meal sites and all that. And then it's got more questions like, if you want to know, some of the other legalese and requirements, it's all on the flyer too there. So very good as well. But this is something that I don't think people realize it, and this is why when we ever have both you ladies on together that we talk about the summer program every year, but this is what you guys do every day all year long. This is pretty much any time there's any kind of county issue, flooding for instance, we had just back here. These 2 ladies go into overdrive and they end up serving everybody because and so this is what trust me, when we talk about this food issue and stuff, that these ladies are on your side. They're wanting to get food to everybody and everything, and I'm sure you guys probably fought as much as you can on some of the rules and regulations on this, because it really does kind of hamper what you're trying to do at the end of the day.
Well, and actually, these are pre-COVID rules and regulations, so they're just trying to move us back that way a little bit.
Yeah. But I've also said we've learned things from COVID
We
too.
sure
That
did.
We can't throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak.
Exactly.
And if there's things that work, and we live in a remote area. Let's just face it. We don't live in an urban area. People got to travel to get places. There isn't the local store around the corner for a lot of folks around here, and so you guys are, for some families, the only source of this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Till we make the legislators realize that stuff, this is what we got to do. So,
and as healthy kids, our organization really supports Kim and Shelley, and that the headaches, sometimes the headaches to deal with this, and that people are upset because they can't deliver or they haven't done it like they've done it before, but they've got to go by the rules.
Absolutely.
And so we're in support of them, and I hopefully that some of the places that are complaining will understand.
Sure. Well, and let's, and I will offer this, complaining's easy. Let's figure out a way. All right. Let's what else can we do that keeps us within the confines of the law to do that happen? Let's think about that. Let's work on those solutions. And that's kind of, and maybe, there's ways around things. We just got to figure that out.
Like in Dexter, it's a little bit closer. Everything's a little bit closer. They just have to make a little trip.
Sure.
Go have lunch, And in Roswell, there's 7 sites, so it seems to me there'd be a chance to make a little day trip. Maybe not every day of the week, but
that's what's like. Make
go
lemonade
to the park
here.
And have lunch,
Make some lemonade out of these lemons here and say,
right.
And hey, maybe they'll make some friends. Maybe they go to the park and make, if your schedules line up, next certain families you run into every day out there. Next you make some new friends and like you said, make it an activity. Hey, while we're at one of these parks, let's go ahead and play for a little bit. And hey, we'll have breakfast, then we'll spend the morning playing in the playground, then we'll have lunch, and then we'll go on and do our afternoon activities.
Right.
Whatever, make it part of your day.
Right.
And do all that. That helps. And obviously, families that got work schedules, we get all that, and just we'll do adapt, and you guys will work as much within legal limits as you guys can with
absolutely
those, do those kinds of things. And, if people have questions, is it just maybe through Healthy Kids Facebook or through one of the schools? Like
they can call Dexter.
Okay.
I'm there year round.
Okay.
And they can call Roswell.
Just call the
Student Nutrition Department.
Okay. Because I imagine you don't hang out in the main admin building too much. You're probably out in the other parts.
They'll hunt us down, but
that's correct.
But we're out.
They'll find you here too. While I have you guys here, I do want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you guys do during the school year too, with some of the, because what I love about it, and both districts have been doing a lot with this, is we talk about where food comes from, and and we talk, and obviously they set standards on what you can serve and how much of this and that and how it can be served and so forth and so on. But you guys really do a great job of incorporating all the above approach with food. And what I mean by that is, certain things you can't get locally. Obviously, certain foods you have to buy. We have to order these because that's what they have. But you guys work with local growers and within the schools, even growing food within schools, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on in the schools, and that's people don't realize that's all you guys, the food side, that's really saying, hey, we're introducing the food into the curriculum, as some of them are growing their lunches and things like that. Some are doing, or they're at least understanding that, hey, not all this food comes from a box from a New York City or whatever. This came from one of our local farms 10 miles away here or something like that. And so tell the folks a little bit about some of that stuff.
Well, both of us participate in a program called New Mexico Grown, which is one of our favorite programs because it's a grant, and we apply for it each year, and we receive money. And we were talking on the way over here, Kim spent a ton of money. I spent double what I received in the grant.
Wow.
And so I just buy from, because, Graves Farm and Garden is right in our back door.
Right, exactly.
So they pick it and deliver it. It's still warm right out of the field when we get it. So
and pretty darn good quality.
Very
too.
good quality.
Probably better than whatever came in a box or whatever.
Absolutely.
And some of those regulations to go along with that grant, and we work real close with Becky and Paula to help us with the education piece, with taste testings and gardens. Dexter received a grant this year, and we've got a greenhouse that our FFA, Mr. Pierce, is going to be putting together for us for next school year. And Kim's got gardens all over.
Correct.
In her elementary school.
Yeah, elementary schools. And a lot of that too. And I've heard that with the foods they're not even using for the kids directly, they're donating to other food pantries and things like that, and helping giving back to the community when they're doing some of this stuff. So it's a really cool. I hope and pray that a greenhouse is just something like you put a high school gym in. When you build a high school and you build the gym, and you put a greenhouse, because that's just what you put.
That would be awesome.
That's what I think our mindset
They all
should
need
be.
to be learning that.
Yeah.
It's not grown at the grocery
Yeah,
store.
exactly. Where did my food come from? Aisle 7. No, it did not.
Right. It's one of the funnest programs that we do, just because we get to interact a little bit more with the kids, especially on the education piece.
Absolutely.
And both of us, we've done everything in taste testings, watermelon eating contests. Both of our schools take kids to visit Graves Farms.
Yeah.
And Kim orders from other places that I don't order from, including, I do order from USA Beef Packing, but I don't want to fail to mention them because that's local beef.
Gotcha.
That is. And it's amazing. So,
and I imagine, because that without them, you guys would be pretty much impossible to serve as many kids as you do on a daily basis here.
And it's worth mentioning that all of the places that we order from have to go a little above and beyond what they would normally do to be able to sell to schools.
Yeah, there's a few more regulations or hoops they've got to jump through.
Yes.
So I'm very grateful that they're willing to put that effort into. Well, and I think they see the big picture too. You know, farmers and ranchers, they know the food problem better than anybody on the planet when it comes to, we got less people doing it and more people needing it. Exactly.
And we even have some newer vendor, Jeff Nybert at Twin River Farms. It's over on Atkinson. Built a big greenhouse and is growing lettuce and some different vegetables.
We purchased his lettuce and his cherry tomatoes, and they're amazing.
I mean, it's so cool. So it's something a little bit different than Graves, and he's in this starting up, so it's not a huge amount yet, but it's gonna be.
Well,
I mean, and so it's great to see that coming up.
And I imagine too, because he's growing and starting up, he probably will cater his products and stuff to your needs and things.
Correct.
They're like saying, hey, we got the cherry tomatoes and lettuce, but hey, if you start growing potatoes or whatever, that is, we'll throw some corn up, we'll throw some whatever it is we need. Yeah.
So it's nice to have a different, Graves is great, and Andrew works really hard to accommodate everybody, but the weather in around here, and you can't always depend on some of those things that happen on a farm, but with Jeff's situation, he's got a greenhouse and it's kind of a controlled environment. You know?
Absolutely, so you get better results. And then I'm going to take a stab that hopefully in the future, every school's taking field trips out there and saying, "Hey, come see how your lunch is made."
Right, right.
I know Shelley and I both purchase everything we possibly can from the local farmers that are on our New Mexico grown list.
Yeah,
we do.
It's the perfect, and it really is. It's the because it feeds our businesses and helps locally, and it's the perfect circle of life kind of thing. And obviously, not every need can be met locally, but you guys try to make every one as possible. And as this program evolves, there'll be more and more that comes. There'll be more that'll be done locally, and as you kind of see the standard or see, how we kind of fine tune this over the years here and meet its, adjust it to meet not only your needs but their needs as well too. And so it's a beautiful relationship, and I think this is nothing but growing and hopefully we see like the county fairs and stuff, more of that atmosphere coming into the schools. And that's to be honest, that's not only is it the healthiest way, but probably in the long run going to be the more economical way too when it comes to that. So
and we have our farmers market coming up in July. I wish it was longer, but I guess it is in a way, but it just kind of goes into
it goes into more October.
Right.
We're having farmers markets in October. It's been a good year.
Right. But that's always a good thing for people to go out in Roswell and go to our farmers market.
Absolutely support these great and like you said, the produce. I'm guaranteed whatever food you're seeing out there is going to be way better than what you found at the grocery store or from some order service online or whatever nowadays. And that's what, and the other part too is like in the schools, these kids are also doing the home ec stuff. We got the food, now let's prepare some stuff. We'll show you how to make salads or show you to make a side dish or a main dish with these products and things like that. So
and then
really cool.
Both high schools in Roswell, and I'm pretty sure in Dexter too, have culinary programs that are encouraging students to go into those fields and learn about being in the food industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to like Gordon Ramsay's in the world, I think there's like a whole world now that's like they're going to be the next top chef or something.
They're making it cool.
Exactly. Yeah, it does. I ain't gonna lie. Until they start working, I'm like, nah, that's too much work. They're sweating. But getting back to what we were talking about here, the summer breakfast and lunch program will get underway here next week, June 2nd. Like I said, there'll be the 7 different locations here in Roswell. Just to run those down, I gotta move my glasses. It's too small. Down at the base at the Roswell Air Industrial Center, they'll be doing that lunch there. Carpenter Park at 300 East Buena Vista, they'll be doing meals there from 10 to 1. Spaceport Park, there we go. The old skate park on College, 1620 West College, they'll be doing lunch there from 10 to 1. Poe Corn Park at South Garden, 200 South Garden, they'll be doing lunch there from 10 to 1. At Roswell High School, on Hobbs Street there, they'll be doing breakfast and lunch from 7 to 8, breakfast, and then 10 to 1 for lunch. Goddard High School on Country Club will be doing breakfast and lunch as well. Again, 7 to 8 for lunch, 10 to 1 for lunch, or excuse me, 7 to 8 for breakfast, 10 to 1 for lunch. And then Missouri Elementary, 700 South Deming, will be doing lunch there from 10 to 1. And so if you want breakfast, you'll go to the either high school, and you can go to lunch at any of the other all 7 of the sites there all together. And then remind folks for Dexter.
For Dexter's at 100 North Lincoln in front of the Lewis Gym by the high school.
Yep, and you'll be doing lunch from there.
At lunch from 1 to 2.
1 to 2 there, Monday through Thursday.
Right.
And Monday through Friday on the Roswell location.
That's correct.
So, is there any other information, anything that we want to make sure? I know, or any healthy kid stuff we want to kind of cover?
In summertime it kind of slows down because the schools are closed,
Sure.
But we want to encourage families to get their kids involved. We've got all sorts of camps with the aquatic center in the city and the Parks and Recreation Department. We've got all the churches have different camps and things. So
pools are all open up now after the Memorial Day weekend here.
Right.
Splash pads are
Splash
open
pads.
up. Yeah.
So there's plenty of and a lot of those have sites, the Carpenter and Poe Corn both have lunch
I'm
sites.
about to say, yeah.
So you can kind of go to the splash pad, eat a little lunch, go back to the pad, so you can just spend the whole day there.
And I know the splash pads are for kids, but adults can get wet too. Just pretend you're chasing the kid. Oh, I got into the bucket. I'm sorry.
Right, but we want to encourage everybody to to try to stay healthy and use these lunch programs and make a stab at making your day there, or at least several times a week, and then get involved in some of these camps. They're pretty economical. I think
Absolutely.
They work it out
Yeah.
with the families.
The ones with the cities are very cool. I know the college has got several camps. Some are vacation Bible schools at pretty much every church at some point here. I was if you're a Facebook user, I highly recommend you go and like and follow the Healthy Kids Chaves County Facebook page. It's a good resource for everything. So if you're looking for like tips and you're always throwing up ideas, hey, this weekend there's this, or
and
I
try to post all the camps and things that I know of, and
so it's kind of a good resource just to kind of keep and throughout the school year too, at various school programs, food programs, ideas, but recipes, everything kind of pops up there from time to time.
We have the Health Expo beginning in the beginning of
August.
with
the Health Council.
Yeah, so
new location this year. It's going to be at the mall.
Right.
Obviously, we can't do it at the Convention and Civic Center because of the flooding, but it'll be at the Roswell Mall this year. So that's gonna. She just leaves and bolts off into the night. But anyway, sorry. But so it'll be a little bit different this year. It's going to be inside and out, like all the like the bloodmobiles and all that will be outside the mall, but in the heart of the mall there will be some of the.
And they have an early registration if you get registered before the 30th.
Yeah, I think the end of this month.
It's half as much.
Yeah. But you got to do it like today or tomorrow. Like May 31st, I think is the deadline here, which is coming up here in a day or two. So, but and then of course, that'll be a good put on your radars. It'll be. I think it's actually worked out this year where it's before school this time.
Right.
I know last year in the school challenge, it kind of they added more days and it kind of after 2 weeks they're going to lose school supplies, so we're going to need new ones by then. So, but definitely put that on your calendar. Again, Healthy Kids Chaves County. Just look for it on Facebook, like and follow it, and it's a great place. And then of course, if you have any questions about anything we just talked about here, Becky and them be happy to answer those or get that information to these ladies to get that information.
Call the school districts and you can get info about lunch.
Absolutely, yes. And again, beginning June 2nd here in Roswell, June 9th for Dexter schools here. Again, you can find the schedule and the locations, all Healthy Kids Chaves County, RSD, Dexter schools, any of the social medias, they've got it all shared and posted there. So, good deal.
Could I mention one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
And we're trying to hit all of our regulations this morning that we have to get out to the public, but Dexter schools for next year will continue to be a community eligibility program, which means all students will eat free again next year, breakfast and lunch.
And Roswell schools is the same.
Well,
all students eat free.
That should be something that just should be a given, I think, in the way. But it is.
We just have to announce it.
Yep. by public notice.
Yes.
Free food for you kids. As is the case here, but for the last several years now, they've been able to do this here,
that's correct.
That's probably one of the best changes in the positive direction. Is because I mean it's well we all know the headaches y'all were dealing with before that and this, and then you got to play the who gets a lunch game, and it's like, come on now, no one wants to play this game.
No,
and so that's all done.
Let's just eat.
Let's just have lunch. The food's here. Let's do it. And same thing with the summer and breakfast lunch program. Any child 18 and under can come on down and get a meal at any of the 7 locations here in Roswell and the location in Dexter beginning on the 9th here. Just bring but the rule is they got to be there and they got to eat there. And that's all there is. So, but bring them all. Bring, shameless kid. But any child 18 or older, whether in school, not in school, no questions, just if they're 18 and under. So good deal. Well, thank you, ladies. And if there's anything else we can do to help get word out or whatever we can do, please don't hesitate to reach out. And maybe one of these times during the school year when you're not doing a million things at once, we can check in for an update.
Yeah, we'll get back over here. Yeah,
thank you for having us.
We always appreciate your help.
You guys literally make miracles every day, and people, if you have a child in Chaves County, these 2 women have fed them many meals. Let's just say that.
True.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. All right, it is 8:48. Let us pause for news and your Chaves County sports update, Red Apple market report as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Eddy County leaders are working to find continued solutions to the opioid crisis and addiction. The county has been working the last year with a local nonprofit called Carlsbad Lifehouse, which received a $650,000 grant for treatment of non-fatal overdoses and counseling through multiple programs. Last week, Carlsbad Lifehouse Representative Philip Houston gave an update on the organization's progress. He says they have since developed a new overdose response program that includes nurses, emergency personnel, and counselors. A wildfire swept through portions of a Civil War-era fort and historical site in southern New Mexico, forcing the evacuations of campgrounds and a horse ranch. The camp fire damaged structures at Fort Stanton Historical Site. The site was built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s, and a gym erected by Germans interred at the site during World War II after their ship sank. The fire was reportedly 50% contained by Wednesday afternoon. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. We told you about baseball all-star selections yesterday. These are seniors, and they'll be playing against each other at the end of the season. That's already happened, of course. How about softball? The softball all-star games are happening this Friday and Saturday at Cleveland High in Rio Rancho. And Hannah Sanders from Dexter was selected to the green team. Wow, her qualifications, impeccable. A .630 batting average, 14 homers, and 65 RBIs. And Dexter had a great season. She's the only selection, but, Dexter didn't have very many seniors besides her. And if you're wondering about Goddard, they made it into the playoffs, too. They also didn't have a lot of seniors. Roxana Serrano, just as an example, she was their leading hitter, only a sophomore. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A few clouds and some scattered showers and thunderstorms hanging around today. We have low pressure over the area. Upper 80s on the high, a few more showers and thunderstorms overnight, and a few of those storms could have damaging wind and maybe some heavy rainfall. Our overnight low in the low 60s, still a few showers hanging around on Friday. We'll be in the mid-80s. Slight chance of afternoon showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Good morning. Stock averages open just slightly lower from yesterday. Macy's says they will raise some prices because of tariffs. They won't raise some other prices, and they may just stop carrying other items if a higher price is not warranted for the quality of the item. Dick's Sporting Goods says their sales are 5% higher than a year ago. HP says profits fell because of the added costs from tariffs, so they will increase production in Vietnam, Thailand, India, Mexico, and the United States. The New York Times says tariff crime is already starting. Shipping companies in China and elsewhere are changing the information on what's in the shipment or shipping from another country subject to a lower tariff, and experts say this could cost the U.S. government billions of dollars in tariff revenue annually. Redfin Real Estate says some new home builders see an opportunity and are dropping their prices more than the owners of existing homes. Mortgage bankers, though, said yesterday that some home sellers are now dropping their asking price because more homes are for sale. Condo sales are down 9%. The Wall Street Journal says buyers are so cautious, some insist on a Zoom meeting with the Condo Association about where the budget stands and what repairs are coming up. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Building Bridges, That Which Unites Us, a thought-provoking new podcast hosted by Michael Hirschman, CEO of Solaviv Group.
I'm Michael Hirschman. Join me as I tackle vital national topics that affect the man on the street to the executive suite with unscripted, authentic perspectives that spark in-depth discussions with experts in the field.
Go to buildingbridges.nyc to watch episodes or download wherever you get your podcasts.
In Paul's letters to Titus, as he ministers at the church in Crete, he warns him and the church to watch out for those teaching false doctrine for their own motives. Still today, there are those in the world who take advantage of those who are young in their faith. These people teach a skewed, self-serving view of God's Word. This can span from a health and wealth gospel that says if you follow God or give some preacher your money, you'll be physically or monetarily blessed. We'll be blessed by following God, but it's about the eternal reward in heaven, not necessarily blessings on this earth. Others preach that God just wants you to be happy. God wants you to be full of joy, peace, and holiness, but happiness is only temporary. Joy is eternal. We aren't meant to hear what we want to hear and do what we want to do. We are meant to follow God in response to the ultimate gift, sending His Son to die for our sins, that allows us to inherit eternal life. If you're listening to the teaching that isn't following God's Word, find a new voice to listen to. Listen to the voice of God coming from His Word.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell Groom's Cake Ice Cream is renewing its vows on the frozen aisle. Milk chocolate ice cream with chocolate cake pieces, chocolate-coated strawberry hearts, swirls of strawberry sauce, and chocolate icing. See you at the reception.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at Walmart Supercenters. Registration is now open for the fall semester at Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Classes will fill up fast, so don't wait. Sign up early to create a schedule that works best for you. New students are encouraged to sign up now. Advisors are ready to help you kickstart your path to academic success. Start today. Visit roswell.enmu.edu or call 575-624-7000. ENMUR. Success starts here.
Success starts here. ENMU Roswell.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Hey Roswell, whatever you've got planned this week, cancel it, because Roswell Ford is slashing prices during our biggest Memorial Day savings event ever. These are the final days to get massive discounts with employee pricing for all. At Roswell Ford, you pay what we pay on our huge inventory of new Fords. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current car, truck, or SUV and one out early, Roswell Ford can help you get out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you pay what we pay today with employee pricing to all customers on new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Our aggressive lenders will push to approve your your credit, even if it's less than perfect. With massive American-made savings, employee pricing for all, and more for your trade. We'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Get on board at Roswell Ford. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues for date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinance to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
A bedroom is a quiet escape where I go for peace and comfort. This is Melanie at Glenn's Furniture. I know how important the most private room in your home is for your life and the lives of your family. That's why we offer a selection of bedroom groups that make living easier and more comfortable. Modern designs, bold curves, and stylish fabrics elevate your bedroom space. You'll find your new set easy to sleep on and even easier to own. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Hey, Mark.
Morning, Sam.
Having the house remodeled?
Nah, I got termites, and they're chewing the place up.
Welcome to the neighborhood. I've got them too.
Really?
Yeah, just had a termite treatment put in.
You did? I didn't see a lot of digging around your house.
That's because I went with the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System. It's a lot easier to install than what you're doing. They just place bait stations around the house, and then the termites share the bait with each other until the colony is gone. No digging, no chemical solution, just simple protection that's environmentally responsible.
Wow.
Yeah, I even got a Green Chemistry Award from the EPA.
Centricon, huh? I'll be right back.
Hey, where you going?
Tell these guys to stop digging. I'm getting Centricon.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today for all of Southeast New Mexico. 575-623-5344.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A federal trade court has ruled against President Trump's tariffs.
They made no ruling, however, on the other mechanisms that Trump can still use and which he did in the past to implement these tariffs.
Heritage Foundation chief economist E.J. Antoni telling the Salem Radio Network.
By no means is this the final word in this whole tariff fight. And the other really important thing is that this ruling can be appealed to the Supreme Court. That would be the next step here if the administration still wants to go down the route, again, of using this IEPA mechanism.
And the administration is appealing the ruling. Elon Musk's time has come. He's stepping down as head of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Thanking President Trump, Musk says work of DOGE will go on as he once again takes the helm of his sprawling business empire. A new analysis of Medicaid waste and fraud and the impact of the president's budget and tax cut bill.
The analysis comes at a crucial point on Capitol Hill, with the Senate about to debate President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act that the House of Representatives approved May 22nd on a 215 to 214 vote. Democrats claim the bill requires slashing Medicaid spending by more than $800 billion and that millions of recipients will lose their benefits as a result. But the new analysis also provides substantial evidence to support Speaker Mike Johnson's insistence that eliminating waste and fraud in the program and restoring genuine work requirements will not mean reductions in care for anybody who is genuinely eligible for Medicaid. Bernie Bennett reporting.
In a revised estimate, the government says the American economy measured by the gross domestic product shrank 0.2% in the first quarter. Some Chinese nationals studying in the U.S. may want to start packing their bags. Secretary of State Rubio says their backgrounds will be closely scrutinized in a bid to get rid of Chinese spies. On Wall Street, the Dow trading 56 points higher. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Everybody
Dennis
wants
Prager
cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
President Trump confirms he urged Israel to refrain from striking Iran while nuclear talks continue.
The president was asked if he warned Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu to hold off on a military attack against Iran.
Yes, I did.
He said he didn't want an Israeli strike to jeopardize a new nuclear deal.
I just said I don't think it's appropriate. We're having very good discussions with him, and I said I don't think it's appropriate right now.
The president said he thinks Iran wants to make a deal and that an agreement could come together over the next couple of weeks. Greg Clugston, the White House.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has pledged to help Ukraine develop its own long-range missile systems that would be free of any Western-imposed limitations on their range and targets. Some of the advanced weapon systems that Kiev's allies have supplied to Ukraine to repel Russia's invasion were subject to such restrictions. News and analysis at townhall.com. These birds have adapted rather well to city life as their coastal cousins struggle with the bird flu.
A pair of peregrine falcons fly around their home, which is, for now, the George Washington Bridge linking New York and New Jersey. The bridge has hosted nesting falcons for almost 3 decades, says research scientist Christopher Natareski with the NYC DEP.
In New York City, we are at the point where we're probably the most concentrated populated peregrine falcon nesting in the whole world.
Researchers say these falcons and others living in cities seem to be thriving while their country cousins are being devastated by bird flu. Julie Walker, New York.
A push in Texas to ban youngsters under 18 from social media platforms appears to be fading. Last night, state lawmakers did not take a key vote on creating one of the nation's toughest restrictions. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday. Almost there.
Yes, welcome to it.
Yep. Getting ready for the weekend. Thinking about the weekend.
Planning for the weekend.
Button.
Hope you do good. Think you play good. I think you play pretty good out there. Very underrated movie, that Bedazzled.
It was. It was a good movie. One of
It's like 7 different movies. That's what I like so much about that movie. You can like really just come in at any part and get joy out of it.
It shows Brendan Fraser's range.
It really does. You know another movie that really shows his range? Blast from the Past.
Yeah.
And those movies were sort of around the same time.
Yeah, give or take, yeah.
But one of my favorite, and to this day, one of my most quotable movies of all time is Blast from the Past.
Yeah.
There's a lot you could take from that. It introduced me, at least, to the world of the music of Perry Como. That was a game changer for young me. Like, ooh, this 50s doo-wop is really taking us places. Find a ring and put it round. Yeah, it's just good stuff.
I think this will catch on.
Ball in the Jack by Danny Kaye. This thing's a banger. And then cut to today the other day when my daughter says, and I quote, "That's straight fire." I'm like, oh my God. Of all people, you, but that's straight fire. I'm gonna have to remind my daughter, you're white.
I don't even know. Is that still popular to say?
What, fire?
Yeah.
No, that's the thing now.
Oh, is it? I
Yeah.
thought we passed that.
No, that's the thing.
I thought we were past fire.
It's flame emoji.
I thought are we back to bad yet? That's bad.
That's bad.
So bad.
One of there's a comedian. He has a bit where he said, now I know we were all shocked about the whole Michael Jackson thing, but if you think about it, and if you really go back and listen, there were warning signs. He put out a song where he said, I'm bad. I'm really, really bad. You know it. I'm bad. And we just were like, yeah, all right.
That's true. That's true.
He says, I'll tell you once again, who's bad?
I think Weird Al just messed up the message for me because I went right to fat. I'm like, who's fat?
Speaking of Weird Al, we didn't talk about it on the air, but Rick Derringer passed away.
Yeah.
A lot of people not real familiar with the works of Rick Derringer. He's actually more prolific than you'd think. He was in the band The McCoys. So if you know the song Hang On Sloopy, that was his. The song Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, that one-hit wonder from the 70s, that was Rick Derringer.
Nice.
He also produced the first 6 Weird Al albums, including playing the guitar solo on and producing his first song, Eat It. So that really cool guitar riff in the middle. Oh, here's another one. That part of the song, Total Eclipse of the Heart, where it actually gets really cool, you know, the guitar solo, Rick Derringer.
Nice.
There you go.
There it is.
Played for Steely Dan, too. So definitely got around as a musician.
He was a working man.
He was. A session musician, as they call him.
I wonder what kind of living those guys get. Like is he a millionaire?
I would imagine, yeah. Just
based on his songs.
Derringer especially, just based on the number of works that he got to produce.
I guess they get some kind of piece of some of those.
Absolutely, yeah. Including, I think that's in perpetuity too. So for like streaming and all that.
Yeah.
So his estate, I'm sure, is doing fine.
Nice.
The only other session musician that I could think of off the top of my head, or musicians, the Buggles.
The Buggles.
The Buggles is the band responsible for the first song on MTV, Video Killed the Radio Star.
Okay.
They weren't actually a real band. They were just a group of session musicians that a recording company said, hey, we got this song, we want you to record it. And they all got together, and that's how the Buggles formed.
You can see him at Chachi's Pizza Hut.
That's right. By the way, I'm available for any trivia night out there if you're looking for a fourth.
Well, you mentioned earlier about your boy, and now he's curious about other things. I'm just saying apple meat tree. You know what I'm saying?
I tend to absorb my own set of knowledge, but most of mine is useless. That's just,
hence the career in radio.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just the byproduct of a career in radio. Exactly.
So, I don't know. This is weird, not relevant to anything, but it's been annoying me for the last 30 minutes.
Okay.
I went on a Royal Caribbean cruise a couple of years ago.
Sure.
And so to do the cruise, you kind of needed the app. So on my phone I have the Royal Caribbean app on my phone, which I haven't used since the cruise.
Right.
But for the last 30 minutes, I'm guessing they're doing some work on the app, and I keep getting notifications, and it's weird things like head, last segment 18, subtitles, last segment 18, code, level 8. I'm like, what? And I've been getting none of these notifications.
Mike, I think you might be on the inside. You might be in the mainframe right now.
I could be.
You should mess around a little bit. You could be responsible for a listeria outbreak, on like 3 different ships right now.
I'm causing someone to eat onion sandwiches and just pooping in a bag.
Just shut down all the bathrooms on starboard, and
I turn off the water on the slide.
That's right. Mid slide, so it's just.
Is there an ice cream shut off the ice cream machine button? Because if there is, I want that button.
Oh, by the way, I was watching something the other day about talking about how the Dole Whip, the dessert known as the Dole Whip, it was for a time only available in Disneyland and Disney World, like only available in that park, and also on the Disney cruise. So I'm curious, you've been on a Disney cruise. At any point in time, did you see available the Dole Whip?
I don't recall, but that doesn't mean it wasn't.
Well, because it wasn't necessarily on your radar.
Yeah.
You were eyeing the line of soft serve machines, I know.
Now, to their credit, like the typical cruise has the soft serve that has like the 3-pack. Your swirl, your chocolate, vanilla. Disney, they had like a 6-pack, and there was like yellow kind and red kind. And
now I'm curious if any of those might have been the Dole.
It could have been
because they do it's a combo. Dole Whip isn't actually ice cream; it's more of like a sorbet.
Okay. Sherbet
kind of sherbet. But they actually do a thing where they blend it with soft serve as like a.
That may have been what those were.
So that might have been, yeah.
You know me.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the chocolate. That's the only one I need.
But ever
the rest
since
are fodder.
Ever since then, I've been having this like wicked craving to get my hands on a Dole Whip because they say they sell them in stores, not our stores.
I haven't seen them.
So,
well,
I'll
something.
I'll
put a bolo out when I go out and shopping.
I did find something yesterday, and I forgot to bring it today, which means we'll have a nice treat for tomorrow.
Okay.
I finally got my hands on those pickleballs.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right. Remind me again what's in the pickleball?
Pickle. It's Vlasic. It's a Vlasic product. It is pickle-flavored cheese balls, essentially without the cheese and pickle flavor added.
Okay. So is it crunchy like a cheese ball?
Corn balls. Yeah, crunchy like a cheese ball.
With a pickle flavor.
With pickle flavoring.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I don't know how that's going to go.
I'm curious myself.
Yeah. I'm not going to go. I think you need to pair that product with a sandwich.
Yeah. I bet. Ooh, see, now you got my brain working. I'm wondering if you could use those in place of your potato chip on a sandwich.
Could be.
Just really crunch them down.
Could be. I
All right.
see that working.
So we'll try them tomorrow, and then I got a whole weekend of experimentation.
Various deli meats.
Right? I got a weekend and not a lot going on. Kids are at mom's house. Let's go nuts.
Bring out the P&P loaf.
You joke, but I am a fan of olive loaf. Pimento loaf is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
But I do like a nice olive loaf.
Well, good for you.
Thanks, man.
God bless you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for falling on that sword, because I don't want nothing to do with it.
Well, when you see meat that's using olives and various pimentos and other things in the shape of a clown face, that's a step too far. If you have clown loaf, that is a step too far. But I'm just saying, loaves don't have to be a bad thing.
Yeah, that's my golden rule when it comes to deli meats. If it's got loaf in the thing, I stay away from it.
And I feel like, since knowing that you've worked inside of a meat room, that your opinion should be trusted. But that being said, I do like a nice olive loaf every now and again.
Well, I think what really made it out for me when I saw mac and cheese loaf.
See, that's
when I said,
wrong.
This is just stupid.
That is wrong. You're taking two perfectly fine things and combining them in a place that you really shouldn't.
Yeah. Or that when they get in the peppered P&P loaf. You ever seen those?
I have not.
Well, it's basically P&P loaf, but they pepper the outside, so it's got a pepper coating.
Oh, okay. I have seen that.
Pepper-coated P&P loaf.
Peppery P&P loaf. A lot of pop.
Yeah, I steer clear of those. But anyway, yes, enjoy those.
Oh, it's going to be a fun weekend. Olive loaf and pickleball sandwich.
I think it could work with liverwurst.
I'm
a little crunch to a liverwurst.
A little crunch to, you know what? I'm not a fan of liverwurst specifically, although I do like I like Braunschweiger. That's my go-to.
I kind of lump them all
They're
together.
about the same.
Yeah. They're good in their own way.
I'm not sure which wurst is best. I think they haven't figured that out yet.
I go with knock.
Yeah.
I'll go with the knockwurst.
I'm a fan of Bradenwurst.
All right, let me give you the rundown. It's worst.
We've gotten to our worst. The conversation has reached the worst point.
It's hit smoked sausage level. We done kielbasa'd it.
Yeah. It's. I got nothing.
Well, I killed it with kielbasa. So let me give you the rundown.
I couldn't find a link. There you go. Brought it around.
Casing closed.
You know what? Up top. What's up?
All right, let me give you the real rundown of what's going on here. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a bit. Then we'll be joined by Mark Salas and Cisco Brink here, Roswell Night Skies, and talking about movies in the park. They start, first movie, Shrek, starts this Friday out at Rustic K. So we'll talk with that about them, talk about the movies, and it's a nonprofit, so they're always looking for more volunteers and dinero and all that stuff, too. Not Robert, actual cash dinero.
Yo quiero dinero.
Actually, I don't think they're going to show dinero movies. I don't think many of his movies fall in the what we would call family movies.
Or in the Under the Stars genre, because you really, I mean, with an Under the Stars movie, it's got to be a lot of visual action, and with a De Niro movie, it's a lot of conversation, a lot of dialogue,
a
lot of slow moving dialogue.
The only ones that might, but I don't see them under these movies, is like the Meet the Parents movies.
Sure, but again, that'd be a tough sell. Come on out, hang with the Fockers under the stars. Bring your nipples.
And leave your urns at the house. But anyway. But if you want to, like that movie, my wife was legit serious for a minute. She wanted to teach the cat to use the toilet. I said, no.
That was her takeaway from Meet the
Day I have to wait to use the can on the cat is the day I'm not living here anymore.
Hold on, Mittens is in here.
Yeah. The day I'm waiting to use the bathroom because the cat's in there.
If she's taking like real world ideas from movies, I'm really glad that she's not into the horror genre.
Well, she would, if left to her own devices, I think she would have tried to teach the cat to use the toilet.
She's a teacher. You don't think she would have succeeded?
Probably, but I'm not waiting in a bathroom ever on a cat.
Well, here's the thing. You could teach a cat to use the bathroom, but I don't think you'd be able to teach the cat to flush. So you're going to have to deal with that regardless.
Oh, I know. Right.
And I feel like that, but wet, is worse.
Well, what did they try to bury? I mean, what is that? That instinct's there.
Yeah, they don't want to look at it. They don't want to get, they don't want to be near it.
It's bad all
But
around. Reinvent the box.
But anyways, kids movies, Under the Stars. It's a great time. Starts this Friday.
That all started with De Niro.
Absolutely.
All right, it is 9:19. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A few clouds and some scattered showers and thunderstorms hanging around today. We have low pressure over the area. Upper 80s on the high. A few more showers and thunderstorms overnight. And a few of those storms could have damaging wind and maybe some heavy rainfall. Our overnight low in the low 60s. Still a few showers hanging around on Friday. We'll be in the mid 80s. Slight chance of afternoon showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 74 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds currently out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour. We're looking at a 30% chance at some showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 3 today. They say if we do get storms, they could be severe in nature. Mostly sunny and a high of 86 today with winds out of the north at around 10 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms till about 9 p.m. Again, they say some storms could be severe, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 61 degrees and southeast winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, 20% chance. That's a theme here. 20% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, a little cooler, 81 for a high. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% of rain, thunderstorms tomorrow night as well. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 64 degrees. And then warming up for the weekend, 30% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms for Saturday. Partly cloudy, highs near 90. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers, mostly sunny, 95. And then we'll be in, looks like low 90s on Monday with rain chances, and then mid-90s Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. All right, 9:21. We're going to take a 2.5-minute break, and then we'll talk movies in the park here. Roswell Night Skies on the other side. Don't go away.
In Paul's letters to Titus, as he ministers at the church in Crete, he warns him and the church to watch out for those teaching false doctrine for their own motives. Still today, there are those in the world who take advantage of those who are young in their faith. These people teach a skewed, self-serving view of God's Word. This can span from a health and wealth gospel that says if you follow God or give some preacher your money, you'll be physically or monetarily blessed. We'll be blessed by following God, but it's about the eternal reward in heaven, not necessarily blessings on this earth. Others preach that God just wants you to be happy. God wants you to be full of joy, peace, and holiness, but happiness is only temporary. Joy is eternal. We aren't meant to hear what we want to hear and do what we want to do. We are meant to follow God in response to the ultimate gift, sending His Son to die for our sins, that allows us to inherit eternal life. If you're listening to the teaching that isn't following God's Word, find a new voice to listen to. Listen to the voice of God coming from His Word.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
You received a social media message or text from an unknown number. They started a conversation with you, and over time, they earn your trust. Then, they encourage you to invest online or buy cryptocurrency. And when you do, they disappear, along with your money. But it can be avoided. The Securities Division of New Mexico's Regulation and Licensing Department can help. Learn to spot the red flags of investment scams at rld.nm.gov/red flags or call 505-476-4580.
Bring rugged durability and high-grade performance to your home laundry room with a Maytag commercial-grade residential washer. Engineered with powerful parts, including a half-horsepower motor and dual-action agitator, it is truly built to last. Shop Bush Appliance today and bring home a powerful washer. Bush Appliance Woodworks and Installation. When it comes to cabinets, appliances, and installation, who you gonna call? Bush Appliance in Roswell. Stop by 111 West Country Club Road in Roswell or call 575-622-6390.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he was from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from Roswell Night Skies, Mark Salas and Cisco Brink back with us this morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning. Good morning, Mike.
How's life in y'all's worlds today?
It's a busy summer. We've had a wonderful spring, but it's getting to be a very busy summer with many different organizations that do community development to include Roswell Night Skies.
Absolutely.
The brand new Roswell Night Skies.
Yeah, it's kind of as soon as the school let out, we got, everything between the air races coming to town. It seems like every week there's just been a busy thing here. And now we're kind of turning to summer. And this is something cool that Mark, that you started with Roswell Night Skies. And of course, for folks that, have been living in Roswell for a minute, they, the tradition of the movies in the park kind of thing. And that kind of tradition dried up here with COVID a little bit. And Mark said, I'm going to bring that back. And so here we sit.
No, really, Mark has put in so much energy to making this a reality. It really just, 6 months ago, Mark, this was still a concept. It was a dream, and he's turned it into something.
Yeah, and this is what people, I don't think, you can't just roll up into a park and turn on a projector and start showing movies. You're dealing with copyrighted work, people's, intellectual property. It's no different than stealing a car and putting it, so you just can't show these movies. You have to get permissions. You have to pay royalties in some cases, depending on the movies and the studios and all that. So it costs money to put on an event like this, and it costs more than just, the light bill to put the movie on it. There's rights fees. I'm sure there's insurance fees and everything else you got to pay. Because anytime you gather people, there's other ancillary things. And so this is not just something that's easy and cheap to do. It takes a lot of effort. It takes money, and you pretty much single-handedly here, kind of started this chain and had since then, other people helping out here.
Yeah, but behind the curtain, behind the scenes, there is a cost involved, Mike. But for the public, what they need to know is that this has no cost to them.
I was going to say, for everyone else, it's free.
This is a free event every Friday during the summer.
Yeah, but I want to get people to support it. Come back out again. Sir. They're going to be at the Rust Decay Park there on North Grand, 1500 North Grand, and every Friday night here, beginning this Friday through August, through the about middle August here, going to be showing a movie every Friday night, and they're all going to be family. Bring the whole family out. Everyone. We'll start with a classic this Friday night with the original Shrek movie, which that one's universally, even like certain movies. Adults that are for kids, adults are like, oh, I got to watch this again. But Shrek's one of those movies that, it holds up. Like, it's almost as much adult humor as it is kid humor.
Yeah, it's great. No, I can't get enough of that.
Yeah, so we're going to start with the classic here.
But, Mark, talk about our organization, if you could, please. The mission, how we figured, how this concept came about.
So, all of this kind of started with kind of reflecting back, looking back at our community.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have much to do in town for youth and families. Besides, occasional big festivals throughout the year, there's
Sure.
really not a lot throughout the year. So this is kind of like our slow, easy kickoff into growing and expanding as an organization.
Excellent. So this is kind of, we're starting with movies and hoping to grow to other bigger, more community events.
Events and with a youth and family focus.
Gotcha. So hey, ideally every weekend we're going to have some kind of event for families to hang out and gather, whether it's a movie thing or something else.
And what I'd like people in Roswell to know is how we really have been building this aircraft in flight. We truly have. It was 5 months ago. I don't know when it was. Was it before
5-6
Christmas?
months ago?
Mark literally pulls together a couple of folks that he knows from our parish, our church, other folks in the community, and we're just sitting around literally talking, brainstorming how this is going to go. And the name, I'm not even sure where the name exactly came from, but we thought about, well, is it just movies? Well, no, it's more than just movies. And we thought, well, what time of day is it? Well, I guess it's nighttime, night events, right? And I think was it my wife?
It was, yes.
My wife thought, well, how about Roswell Night Skies? And then you can kind of play into the UFO motif a little bit. And so that name stuck, and that's and it's kind of a good Hollywood name, I would say.
It does have a good marketing potential. A lot of you could do a lot of fun with that, but it's like the name. It's the organization's evolving as kind of you see the family needs, community needs on these types of things. So yes, we're starting out. It's like, all right, well, let's start with the movies. We'll start with the Friday night summer movies. Every Friday night you can you don't have to worry about even the title. You just I did every Friday night. It's gonna be a fun movie that the whole family will be into. We can grab them and go. And these are all later movies that are, within the last year. Most of them are pretty new, some that just were in theaters not too long ago and things like that. So it's really cool and this is the first of many. And I'm going to take a stab that what happens next is kind of what the community wants, right? You guys probably have some ideas, whether it's a picnic, cookout, whatever it is, but it's going to kind of evolve to what the community kind of wants, right?
Pretty much. We'll have some surveys sent out later on, but few plans for, October, December-ish, but just all takes time and lots of money and community support.
Well, but to say this is where we'd like to get more people involved. I know it's you two and probably a smaller group of your friends that are kind of making this happen right now, but the more the merrier. The more people, the more bucks, the more spotlight, the more things we can do with it. So if there's folks that are like saying, hey, I love what these guys are doing. This sounds cool. I'd like to help out in some way, shape, or form. Come out Friday night. Look for you guys, and don't yell too loud because the movie's going on. But,
Don't yell too loud.
Pull off the side and talk to him. Have a conversation here kind of deal. And let's see what we can do here. And let's see, what more ideas to the table can bring on this type of.
And that really is an important part of our mission. We're actually still working on our bylaws, our administrative stuff. But one of the elements, common threads that we have throughout all of our rules is that this is an opportunity for an organization to not have to actually run something, but if you want to be on the team, if you would like to volunteer, help out in some way, you can tie into us because we're running the event. We're running the movies in the park or whatever the youth or family event is. But if you're a volunteer organization, particularly a youth-oriented one, there's a place for you.
Sure.
Because there's plenty of work to do at an event like this, from the initial setup to maybe
vending opportunities, maybe, who knows?
What kind of opportunities? I'm sorry.
Vending opportunities.
Vending. Oh, talk about vending a little bit more.
Yeah. So we've got, so far, 2 food trucks set up to be out here.
Excellent. So come hungry.
Yes.
And try some, and food trucks are kind of the new, like if people want to try new foods and do things that are maybe things they never tried before, usually the food truck is now the vessel that provides that, it seems like.
I think so.
Yeah. Because food trucks really are now, like that's where the chefs are going to do crazy things and push the envelope in food and stuff. So I'm going to take a stab that every time you come out, they're going to have a different, some kind of offering that's going to be unique and different every time. So that's the cool part. Plus,
they'll have your tried and true fake. If you're looking for burgers or tacos, they'll probably got you covered. But I'm going to guess there could be some nonprofits that could maybe come help and get involved.
Absolutely.
Helping out with cleanup or helping out with maybe serving water or snow cones or something. I don't know, whatever.
Absolutely. There are opportunities. Get with us, get with Mark, go to our website, www.roswellnightsguys.org, and we'll get in touch with you. There's plenty of work to be done in this endeavor, this important endeavor for
Absolutely.
our youth and families. Something that Mark and I have been chatting about off and on over the last couple of months is how not just that there's a lack of activities for youth and families. Honestly, if I were a teenager right now, I don't know what I would be doing at night. There isn't quite a lot to do in Roswell. Some things like this, but not enough. And the other thing that we've been chatting about is Roswell has been through a lot. I mean, about a year ago, May of last year until now, Roswell has been through a devastating flood, the impact of the wildfires out in Ruidoso, the South Fork fire, and
we're recovering from all of these.
We're recovering from all of these things, lots of different adversities. So I look at this kickoff event this Friday and the subsequent Fridays after that is a real morale builder, a real community.
Just a chance to remind us that, hey, we're all one community and
we are one community, and this is something free that you can do. You don't. If you have no other plan for Friday night, this is something that's available to you. Bring your own chairs.
Absolutely.
Bring your own chairs out there, but a great thing.
And to be honest, like I said, a lot of these are newer movies that maybe you just missed in the theater. Now you can go see them for free. You can bring the whole family out and come out and enjoy a night under the stars watching one of these great movies. Like Cisco was saying earlier, if you go to roswellnightskies.org, that will... you can learn about Roswell Night Skies and the organization, but you'll also see the complete list of all the movies each Friday night here. Just kind of giving you a quick... I'll give you like the June lineup here. They're going to show Wicked next Friday. The Mufasa movie, the Friday after that, the 13th. Paddington in Peru, which I didn't even know they had that one. How many Paddington movies are I didn't know that. That's a new one.
You're asking the wrong guy.
And then they're going to wrap up June with The Wild Robot on the 27th here. So all movies that... with the exception of Shrek, I think have been out in the theaters within the last year or so here. So, and then the bottom half of the summer, it's just as good. Inside Out, Doolittle movie, Wish, there's a couple others in there too. So every week there's a family movie that they're going to be, and it's a free movie. It doesn't cost. All you got to do is get there, get to the Rust Decay Complex. They're on North Grand. Movies will start around dusk, so about 8:30ish, give or take.
Yeah,
so
show up early and get a good spot.
Yeah, get a good spot. Bring your blankets. Bring your picnic baskets. Come or definitely check out the food trucks and get you some probably some really tasty, unique things. Then what's gonna happen is you're gonna find them, and then you're like, man, I got to spend my life hunting these guys down to get that burger again or whatever it is. But that'll be and just come bring the family and just ready to enjoy a movie. I think weather's gonna be pretty good. Well, knock on that wood, that rain won't show up on Friday night here. But temperature-wise, sounds like it'll be a nice night to hang out in the park and enjoy a movie here.
And just to clarify, I mean, I didn't even know that area was called Rust Decay Park.
Yeah.
You'll see that soccer ball monument in the back to Rust Decay, who is really instrumental in building the soccer program of Roswell. But as a former NIMI employee, well, I guess I kind of work there now at the moment as an instructor, but we always called that Vita Field. But just for the folks, it's that half-mile track on the, what would that be, the west side of Main Street,
yes,
where the pedestrian walkway is. There's plenty of room for everybody in this park, and there's plenty of parking because it's adjacent to the Wool Bowl parking.
Yeah, exactly. So there's plenty of place to park, and you can come in and then just find your spot. Plenty of places to spread out.
Plenty of room. Yeah. Plenty of room.
And so that'll be every Friday night, 1500 North Grand. If you get turned around, you can plug it in your GPS or whatever there, and if you get turned around.
Look for the giant movie screen and
there'll be
music blasting.
Yeah, you'll see a bunch of people, and then it kind of just meander that way. You'll see it on there. And so I just was curious, what's it take to get movie screen and all? Is it just going online ordering this stuff?
Well, some of it's special order, custom order, but either way, it's expensive. It costs. Our movie rights average right around $900 to show a movie, and we have to pay security, insurance, light tower rentals. So it's close to $1,200-$1,300 a night just to show one movie.
And And this is all for free.
It's all for free.
It's all for free.
So if you'd like to get involved in the fundraising side and all sides, because and again, this is the tip of the iceberg. This is the Roswell Night Skies. This is kind of the first of many Roswell Night Sky events. If this might be the tentpole thing you're known for here at first, but it could evolve to other things as well too, or so whatever it is, or some festival or something that evolves down the road. That's all on the table.
Yeah, well, thank you, Mike, for mentioning I wasn't going to I wasn't going to outline what the cost of every one of these is, but what Mark has done
I think people need to understand that.
People need to understand that. Yeah. What Mark has done an excellent job with is almost every one of those movies on the poster there. How many are there? 10 movies. All have a sponsor aligned with them, and we'll make mention of them before the movie. There are a few sponsorship opportunities left. Go to our website.
And if you want to thank them here, please do. I don't, these sponsors.
We got 3 more movies that need some sponsors.
Okay, so reach out if there's an organization or a business that wants a little marketing, extra marketing, but want to be
nice
community-minded stuff.
They'll get showed at all 10 movies. They'll be up on the website, blasted through Facebook.
As a business owner, especially if you're a business that's trying to show that you're a part of the community and stuff, these are the types of things that really tell people that you're, not just the pictures of the sports athletes on your front of your windshield or front windows and everything. Getting involved in things like this when they say, "Hey, love to come on out to see Mufasa, brought to you by Bob's Auto Body," or whatever it is. That would be great to have. That's what we love. And this is how the thing evolved. And this is what I mentioned. Like I always tell people, you want a better community. If you're waiting on other people to do it or waiting for the government to do it, you're going to be waiting a long time. If you want great things in our community, it takes we the people to do it. And that's exactly what you guys are doing. You're really saying, hey, we have a need here. There's a lack of opportunities for families and teenagers to have a Friday night and not get into nefarious stuff. We want to provide that. And so you said, rather than say, man, someone should start something. You guys said, let's start it ourselves. Let's see. What does it take? Let's see. Let's start with some movies on Friday nights. All right. What's that going to cost us? How are we going to, what's the logistics? How's it going to happen? Oh man, it's a lot more than I thought it did. All right. We're going to need some help here. And that's kind of what you guys are doing right now. And this is, so I not only hope that people support this, but maybe people that have their own passions inspire them to do what you guys are doing and start rolling up sleeves and making actually fruit of your ideas.
No, I'm really excited about Friday. Mark in particular has put in, hundreds of hours in this year, in this calendar year, 2025, to make this a reality. I'm real proud, really honored to work with Mark, and maybe Mark can outline a little bit of this. Social media-wise, we've had such a wide thousands of hits, thousands.
That's where you young folks are a little bit more savvy than I am.
I'm hoping to grow it more, but even the post that went out yesterday's reached 4,000 or 5,000. I was talking with another board member, and it was, well, what do we do if we reach to 4,000 or 5,000 people out there? And it's, well, accommodate it and just roll with it.
Growing problems are good problems to have. They can be problems, but they're the good kind. So
what it tells me is that there's a community need. We're filling an
there is an interest.
Need.
Yeah, people want this. People see us, and I got a feeling you might have a full lawn Friday night here for our first movie. So, like I said, get there a little early. Like I said, about dusk, 8:30, give or take. So I'm gonna take maybe get there by a little before 8, maybe.
Yeah, 8's a perfect time.
Yeah.
The food trucks will be ready by then.
Yeah, you can get your nosh on and get ready and get settled and then enjoy Shrek here, beginning around 8:30 or so. And then every Friday night, just mark it on your calendars, and then go to, bookmark it, put it RoswellNightSkies.org on Facebook. I know there is on online there is a Facebook page as well for Roswell Night Skies. I invite you to look that up and like and follow. You'll probably see the flyer with all the movie schedule and everything on there. That way you can, if you're old school, print it off and put it on the refrigerator, or use a reminder in your phone if you're more smart. More savvy on those types of things. And then if you love this and want to get more involved, reach out. If you see Cisco, if you see Mark, you see any of the volunteers that, if they're busy running around with their chicken with their head cut off because the power cord got unplugged or something like that. Let them handle that business. But yeah, talk with them. Get more involved. This is what they want to see: is more people, more ideas, more. I love what you're doing. I'd love to get involved. How can we help raise money? Because this is the thing. The big part's going to be the money. It's going to take money. The volunteers, we love all that, but to pull these events off, like you said, it's $1,000, $1,500 a pop every Friday night here, and money does not grow on trees, or it comes from a government committee. You gotta raise it. You gotta earn it. So if you like this, get involved, get more involved, and let's see where this evolves to. What could be the next? I mean,
we're excited about that.
Yeah,
we have lots of ideas, and Mark talked about having a survey later on, but like you mentioned, Mike, I mean, if you see us around, board members, we'd like to hear your feedback.
Absolutely.
Now, maybe your input on other youth and family events that might be good.
Maybe there's something you guys are not seeing on your radar, and you get put on there, and like, oh, you know what? We didn't realize it, but that's absolutely it fits right in what we're doing here, and this is. And it really, it's all about just families just trying to do family things. And that's kind of, and I kind of, like we were talking earlier, and you're talking about your family, and you're a dad, and you got wife and the kids, and you're the people that you're talking about. Where can a family go on a Friday night that's cheap, or but it's quality entertainment? Here we go.
And I've been talking to Mark about this too. I have a daughter. My eldest has just turned 16. She's got wheels.
Yeah.
She's going places with her friends. There's not as many places to get in trouble as there were when I was a kid in the 1990s. I guess that's kind of
that's not a bad thing.
That's kind of a good thing in a dad way of looking at it.
You and I are thinking, man, they could.
That's the dad way of looking at it, absolutely. But I don't know if I were a 16-year-old Cisco Brink, I'm not really sure what I would be doing.
Like, do they go out to the woods or whatever the version of woods are around here? I have no idea.
Anyway, what Mark has helped provide here is something for teenagers to do on a Friday night that is completely wholesome. It's a good movie, and it's a secure location. No glass, no drugs or alcohol are allowed. Mark actually has a good rules video that we're going to put up beforehand.
Just like the movie theater.
Turn off your cell phones.
That's right. I like when they get, like, some theaters, man, they get straight up, you will shut up or we will throw you out. Some of them get brutal. We will take you from the top rope and suplex you out of the theater. They won't do that, but that's cool. So come have fun. Again, it all starts this Friday night at the Rust Decay Complex, 1500 North Grand. Movies will start at dusk, give or take, roughly around 8:30. Completely free. Bring the whole family. All these are family-friendly movies. Like I said, we're going to start with the original Shrek movie this Friday night, and then the hits just keep on coming every single Friday night now through August 8th. And get involved. Come on out, and the more the merrier. Let's fill up the Rust Decay Complex with a sea of kids and families just enjoying, laughing, and enjoying a good movie.
A good kickoff to the summer.
Yeah. And like you said, if you want to get more involved or want to learn more about the organization, I invite you to check out their website, www.roswellnightskies.org, or look for Roswell Night Skies on Facebook. And reach out
Instagram?
And
Instagram.
Instagram as well, too. So if you use the Instagram social media, you'll find it there as well, too. So good deal. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to cover? I know we kind of hit everybody with a lot there.
Are we ready to talk about any of our other ideas for events, or is that still in the exploratory?
We're still kind of planning it out. But.
As things evolve, we'll get you guys back in here, and of course, maybe midsummer we do another pop-in reminder kind of thing, and just see how we're going.
Yeah, we'd be happy to.
Yeah, absolutely. So, who knows what this thing can bring, and what? Put it this way, this is just another great community-built, community-driven organization that's really kind of grassroots and just trying to do cool things for our community here, and want you to be a part of it. So come check it out. Come watch free movies and eat, support food trucks, and do all that good stuff. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
So 8:30 this coming Friday, tomorrow in Rust Decay Park.
Yep.
Just on the west side of the NIMI campus.
Yep. Be there and get ready to have some fun and get ready to enjoy a movie and get ready to have. And if you've never seen Shrek,
East side.
And if you've never seen Shrek, then by golly, get out there and watch Shrek. Come on, man.
It's a classic. You gotta love it.
It's right there. It's right. And then they're gonna hit you with Wicked the next week. So So if you haven't seen that one yet, come on out. So thank you guys, and we'll see you here next time.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, it is 9:47. Let's pause for news, some your Hannity update, sports. Quick break as well. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Eddy County leaders are working to find continued solutions to the opioid crisis and addiction. The county has been working the last year with a local nonprofit called Carlsbad Lifehouse, which received a $650,000 grant for treatment of non-fatal overdoses and counseling through multiple programs. Last week, Carlsbad Lifehouse Representative Philip Houston gave an update on the organization's progress. He says they have since developed a new overdose response program that includes nurses, emergency personnel, and counselors. A wildfire swept through portions of a Civil War-era fort and historical site in southern New Mexico, forcing the evacuations of campgrounds and a horse ranch. The camp fire damaged structures at Fort Stanton Historical Site. The site was built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s, and a gym erected by Germans interred at the site during World War II after their ship sank. The fire was reportedly 50% contained by Wednesday afternoon. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Europe is, they're making Putin rich by buying his gas and oil, and they've been funding his war machine the entire time. President Trump said Putin has gone absolutely crazy after this weekend. It's insane. He's just indiscriminately taking out civilians left, right, and sideways. And Russia is declaring Trump's peace deal is okay, fine. If it's dead, then let the world stand against Putin, especially Europe. Stop making the guy rich. Just like in the Middle East, stop turning a blind eye to the sanctions that work and cut off the Iranian mullahs' funding. And don't let them sell oil. Don't give them waivers like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did.
The conservative underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
Pure Talk, my wireless company, a veteran-owned company, believes every man, every woman who has faithfully served this country deserves to proudly fly an American flag that was made in America. And that's why Pure Talk is on a mission to give an allegiance flag, the highest quality American flag made in Charleston, South Carolina, to 1,000 veterans in time for these patriotic holidays. Just switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk. Do it this month, and a portion of every sale will go to provide these high-quality flags hand-sewn to the deserving vets. Now, with plans starting at just $25 a month for unlimited talk and text and plenty of data, you can enjoy America's most dependable 5G network, all while cutting your cell phone bill in half. Average family saves over $1,000 a year. You just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. Pure Talk's customer service will make the switch. Pound 250, keyword save now, support our veterans, and switch to America's wireless company, Pure Talk.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. We told you about baseball all-star selections yesterday. These are seniors, and they'll be playing against each other at the end of the season. That's already happened, of course. How about softball? The softball all-star games are happening this Friday and Saturday at Cleveland High in Rio Rancho. And Hannah Sanders from Dexter was selected to the green team. Wow, her qualifications, impeccable. A .630 batting average, 14 homers, and 65 RBIs. And Dexter had a great season. She's the only selection, but, Dexter didn't have very many seniors besides her. And if you're wondering about Goddard, they made it into the playoffs, too. They also didn't have a lot of seniors. Roxana Serrano, just as an example, she was their leading hitter, only a sophomore. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. A few clouds and some scattered showers and thunderstorms hanging around today. We have low pressure over the area. Upper 80s on the high, a few more showers and thunderstorms overnight, and a few of those storms could have damaging wind and maybe some heavy rainfall. Our overnight low in the low 60s. Still a few showers hanging around on Friday. We'll be in the mid 80s. Slight chance of afternoon showers over the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. In a revised estimate, the government says the U.S. economy shrank 0.2% in the first quarter. Stock markets around the globe moved higher this morning after a federal court ruled against President Trump's increased tariffs. The administration is appealing the court ruling. Shares of NVIDIA are flying high. The chip maker and artificial intelligence powerhouse delivered another quarter of robust growth despite tariff-related turbulence and uncertainty. Stock in other chip manufacturers rose as well. Broadcom and Advanced Micro Devices each rose 3.1%. Super Micro Computer jumped 4%. Amazon and Apple shares rose about 2.5%. Oil prices continue their recent trend upward. U.S. benchmark crude gained 32 cents to 62.16 per barrel. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Join Hot New Country 92.9 The Brand and La Pantera 106.1 FM for a special live broadcast this Saturday from 10 to 1 at Roswell Honda. The summer of fun is underway, and Roswell Honda has a great selection of vehicles marked way down to take your summer adventures to a whole new level. And with scorching rebates, incentives, and discounts, now is the best time to trade up and save. We'll be on hand from 10 to 1 with free hot dogs and ice-cold Pepsi products, too. See you Saturday, 10 to 1 for the summer of fun at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
In Paul's letters to Titus, as he ministers at the church in Crete, he warns him and the church to watch out for those teaching false doctrine for their own motives. Still today, there are those in the world who take advantage of those who are young in their faith. These people teach a skewed, self-serving view of God's Word. This can span from a health and wealth gospel that says if you follow God or give some preacher your money, you'll be physically or monetarily blessed. We'll be blessed by following God, but it's about the eternal reward in heaven, not necessarily blessings on this earth. Others preach that God just wants you to be happy. God wants you to be full of joy, peace, and holiness, but happiness is only temporary. Joy is eternal. We aren't meant to hear what we want to hear and do what we want to do. We are meant to follow God in response to the ultimate gift, sending His Son to die for our sins, that allows us to inherit eternal life. If you're listening to the teaching that isn't following God's Word, find a new voice to listen to. Listen to the voice of God coming from His Word.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Growing things in Roswell is a battle. Your lawn's trying to turn brown, your trees are wanting to turn yellow, the weeds want to take over, and the fleas and ticks are trying to move in. So come down to Roswell Seed Company and choose your weapons. We have fertilizer to make your lawn lush and lovely, iron to keep your trees nice and green, sprays to kill the weeds, and more sprays to chase away the fleas and ticks. This is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. Yeah, it's a jungle out there, except it never rains.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 56 minutes after 9 o'clock.
4 away from 10. Come on.
I did on purpose.
I know you did.
We got a few minutes before we wrap up today's show. Of course, if you miss any part of the show, you can always go back and check it out when you want to. Just go on to ksvptv.com, click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and you'll find all of our interviews there. We replayed our interview we had with the American Legion folks yesterday, talking about their flag retirement ceremony Saturday. Then we had the Healthy Kids. Becky Joyce joined us. Kim Meeks, the food service director for RISD. Shelley Montgomery, food service director for Dexter, talking about the summer breakfast and lunch programs going on at the schools and various places around town. Go back and check it out. And, of course, we just had Mark and Cisco join us with Rousel Nights. Guys, talking about movies in the park.
Indeed.
Beginning Friday.
Good schedule this summer. That Wild Robot. I don't know if you've seen that.
I heard it's really good.
I know you're not big on animated movies, but I'm telling you, you got to go find that one. What's cool about Wild Robot, I've only seen the first 30 minutes of it, so I haven't finished it. What's really cool about that movie is it drops you straight in with no explanation, no setup. It's just, here's the story. Here's what's going to happen.
Put you in the movie.
And it's really cool how you kind of have that perspective of you're learning right alongside the robot.
Gotcha.
And, it's a really cool way to tell a story.
Nice. Yeah, and of course the Mufasa, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Wicked. I forgot about the Doolittle movie that Robert Downey Jr.
Most
did. That's going to kind of be the final movie of the season.
It's kind of like how when you set up a pay-per-view, you need that one match that nobody ever goes to the bathroom for. That's what that is.
I don't know. It's like I'm not gonna lie. With Downey Jr. being Doolittle, it feels a little more
subdued.
Yeah, like I'm thinking Doolittle a little more goofy, slapsticky, and I feel with him it's more.
Eddie Murphy has the ability to kind of take it to that place, whereas Robert Downey Jr. is kind of like, the meme of him rolling his eyes.
I know he's not British, but it feels more British now.
It does. Well, because he's also tied into like British,
Yeah, well, like Chaplin. Like that was one of his first real serious roles when he played Chaplin, and so I equate this to Chaplin-esque. Sherlock Holmes.
I was gonna say, he was Holmes, right?
He was Holmes, was one of the versions of Holmes there, yeah. And but I think of Chaplin.
Wasn't he one version of the Doctor? I'm kidding. But honestly, again with range, Robert Downey Jr. really showed off his range. I think especially in Tropic Thunder. Playing a dude who's playing a dude disguised as another dude is there's a lot of layers there.
That's true.
Like an onion. Yeah. Come see Shrek this Friday.
I'm going to say he got his training for that movie from Back to School.
Yeah.
He played the sidekick, the main character,
right?
The son. He played Downey Jr. was his friend, his best friend in that movie.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
But
a young Robert Downey Jr.
What is funny is, and this is like kind of universally true, Robert Downey Jr. is pretty much the only person who has successfully gotten away with blackface in this generation. Like insofar as when you ask like a group of people, black and white, they're like, it's not offensive because it's done in the right way. He's not doing blackface. The character is doing it to show how far the character is willing to go to take his art.
Remember the time Ted Danson did it?
Yeah, and it did not go over well, did it?
I still remember that one.
Jimmy Kimmel did it. I mean, they've all done it.
Remember Stern? No, Stern got a pass on his.
Stern he got a pass, but he was frowned upon for quite some time.
He did that Clarence Thomas one. All right, we got to go. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Take care, buddy.
Speaker Mike Johnson bet it all on one big, beautiful bill with a heavy assist from President Trump in the final hours. He